Welcome, Internet, to another rendition of the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, with Donnie, Eat the Hype, Reese, Delvin, Frank, and Barry Cox. And joining us is the gaming advocate, Mr. Chase. How are you today?
You know, just living life.
Awesome. And you two, how y'all doing? That about sums it up.
I've had a long day. I had the day off today, and I had a long day. So that shows you, where I'm coming into this. I went to the dentist today. Not necessarily thrilled about that. I had to go pay bills. I did vote. I went to go vote today. I got the winter wax on the Challenger. I stopped by the shop. I had to go pick up my kids. I had to make dinner.
That is beat. Just did it all day. Huh? Yeah. That's not a day off.
It really wasn't. No, it was like a makeup day. So, but that's me.
Sounds like shenanigans. How about you, Chase? How's your week been? What you been up to?
Man, I know we're going to get into it here in a little bit, but I've been really enjoying this device that I've got. Playing some games. I actually was just playing on the Switch a little bit ago, playing some Splatoon. So that was.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well,
I think I'm going to sell Splatoon.
I had an okay time. It's a different game. I haven't had a chance to play it in a while. Aside from that, though, I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order. Hot take. I think it's better than God of War. I know I've said that a few times.
Take. It's not even remotely close to being true.
I think so.
A little bit. Not even a little bit.
I think so. I think there's a couple reasons why it is, but we can talk about that another time. That's okay. We can talk about
how many of those couple reasons are blinded by your undying loyalty to this Star Wars mess?
It has nothing to do with Star Wars. It has more to do with the combat is better, and the Souls-like combat is definitely better. So
I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan
I
of this
can
at all.
agree with Chase in the fact that I enjoyed the combat of Fallen Order more than I enjoyed the combat of God of War.
Thank you, Dev. I appreciate you understanding.
Now you're just both wrong.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
sure.
fine.
I'm okay because I don't care what nobody thinks. So
that's all I agree. Chase is in fact here.
Yeah,
and he's recording.
Chase is on this podcast.
I mean, but you guys are
advocating for something.
Bad at video games, so that also
advocating
is part
for something.
Look, that is the bullshit. you know my okay. You know my take on stuff with games. We all have unique perspectives on this stuff, and that's just my take on it. So you don't have to agree. But there you go. And clearly you both don't. So
we don't.
Not at all.
We absolutely do not. I need to replay that game though. I think I've told Dev that 100,000 times, and I never do. I just don't.
You're
like
not
Star
gonna
Wars.
enjoy it.
I don't like Star Wars.
And it's not even the Star Wars that I'm worried about, because it's more the way the game plays that I don't think you'll really enjoy. I
remember Kevin telling me he thought I was gonna love it because he thought it was Zelda-like.
He thought wrong.
It's only Zelda-like in the fact that there are some underground areas that are labyrinthian like Zelda.
Now,
I played it for 2 hours, and I was like, we
want to talk about an incorrect take. That is what you should be focused on, not my statement of how the combat.
We don't need to beat up on Kevin anymore at this point.
No.
You know, I'm lucky we still talk the little bit that we do. We don't need to take more shots at Kevin.
Yeah, I don't think you'll like it at all. I would say just don't even bother.
I'm not.
Don't bother.
I don't think I am.
Yeah, save yourself.
Blinded by hate.
Delvin, how are you doing? You alive over there, sir?
Yeah, it's been a.
What did you do in Florida this week?
I can't tell the stories I've been telling y'all offline. I can't tell y'all those stories on this show. So I would just say it's been an interesting week. I'm working on the Halloween special. It's done. Or part one of it's done. It's goddamn Snyder Cut of podcast. Never a fucking game when I do this.
Accurate description.
But everything's overall good. Everything's good.
Good.
Nice.
Good. That's awesome.
Tired as hell.
Yeah. Same here. I'm tired as hell. We had an audit at work today, or this whole week. We've been having an audit. It's super like fun. If you've seen Office Space, this is what they did. Like, I met with the Bobs today. Yeah, exactly.
To the Bobs.
What is it you say you do here?
Such a good, so good.
Yeah. So that's what we've been doing this week.
Pleasure's all on this side of the table.
Yeah. God, I love that movie.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
Yeah.
Talk about something that's way better than Star Wars. Just 1,000 times better than Star Wars.
That's the only reason you don't like that game, and that's okay. That's okay.
It's a good reason.
Okay.
I
cannot.
I don't even want to bother with this nonsense today. This is just shenanigans and bullshit. Okay. God damn it. Anyways, anybody been playing anything like really cool that they want to talk about? Let's start with you, Delvin. Yes. Anything that you've been playing since you've been so miserably tired and like unenergetic about anything the last 2 days? Has a game that you've been playing like had you excited at all?
You said, have I been playing anything cool? And I will say, no, I haven't. But I have been playing Gotham Knights.
Oh, why?
Star Wars might be better than that game.
I will say
I think Chase's game might be better than Gotham Knights.
I would tend to agree with that statement.
Yeah.
So let me get to my problem with the game. I've played 6 hours of it so far. And it's
6 hours. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's so I think I can give a pretty
You're outside
good
of your
analysis on the
open return window.
Yes.
Did you do that on purpose? Did you purposely play it longer than you could return it?
I didn't realize I was playing for 6 hours until my son told me. He looked up the game clock. He's like, "You've been playing for 6 hours."
That's pretty good. Yeah, that means it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that doesn't.
But it's Delvin. He kind of likes everything. So
no, let me explain to you the problem with this game.
I think Delvin really enjoys talking about bad games. Doesn't enjoy playing
that
them,
too,
but enjoys podcasting about bad games. So therefore, he plays them.
But that's the problem with this game.
I'm totally down for it. I think this is great.
It's not a bad game. It might be worse. It's mediocre. It's just like straight in the middle. It's not bad where it's laughably bad.
I got
it
you.
is not good where it's amazing. It's just like
it's not Deadly Premonition.
Yes, exactly. That's the problem.
Deadly Premonition is awesome because it is.
It's awesome because it's so bad. Yes. This game.
It's just boring.
It's like they took the skeleton of what made the Arkham games great and say, "Nah, we don't need none of that shit."
Yeah.
Like throw all that away. Like
I saw they left a lot of the graphics in the past too.
Yes.
I did see that.
It doesn't look that great. It looks okay. It looks like this. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. It looks like the studio started over and just kind of made their own Batman game without Batman.
Isn't it it's a different studio, isn't it?
I thought it was.
It's Montreal.
No, yeah, it's 100% a different studio. Yeah,
okay,
yeah, it's not Rocksteady.
This isn't Rocksteady. You can't say they started over. This is not Rocksteady's game.
I thought it was the one who made the other Batman game that people
didn't make Origins.
Realize they liked it.
Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be them. Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah,
it's them.
Yeah,
they're probably just
using
the other tech.
This doesn't play like Origins.
Yeah,
this plays more like, and my son said, and I think he might have been right. It feels like they were trying to make an always online game, but then realized that was a terrible idea, and then just said, "Nah, we'll just make a regular game." Because there's like loot boxes around.
Isn't that what the entire internet's been saying?
I think so, but
you got to tell me here. I'm not clued into this game. I told you a year ago I didn't think it looked good. I told you a year ago I didn't think it looked interesting. I have no idea. I know the reviews haven't been very good. I watched the comparison in the Discord, and while a lot of the really cool effects that made Rocksteady's Gotham aren't here, I think the game looks pretty good. I think a lot of people are being maybe a little harsh on it for not being like, exploding with fog and artifacts and stuff. Like the actual, just like the world, the buildings, the rain, the streets, that looks technically sound. Doesn't look terrible.
Say this. I actually like the landscape of the city better than I did in the Arkham games.
Yeah, it's just a different style. It's like a different motif.
Yeah. it's empty.
It is kind of though. Yeah, you're
well,
right.
the Arkham games were empty too. They just had the Arkham games were empty, and they had like a ridiculous reason for it to be empty. They're like, "Hey, it's empty because we evacuated the whole city, and only people here are criminals."
Arkham City was empty. Arkham Knight was not empty.
Yeah, no, Arkham had a ton of shit going everywhere.
But it was just criminals everywhere.
Yeah, but
which
still
is not
a lot
how
of
a city works.
But that's not empty.
I think that's the point, though, is that like when you look at like, for example, when Rocksteady made that game, look at the amount of effects and look at the timing of that game when it came out.
Yes,
like. And then you compare it to this version of the game, and it just feels like it's missing life.
Sewers and streets smoking and gassing and snow and rain falling. There's a lot more happening.
Yeah, this game kind of has people.
It's much more dense.
It's different,
like visually. This one is a little more clean, a little more barren.
A little more clean, a little more barren, but the city itself is a little bit more maneuverable. So, like when you drive around the Bat Cycle, it makes more sense when you're riding it around the city and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a little better to drive those around the city. But like I said, my problem with it is everything that made traversing in the Batman games fun in terms of like, the grappling hook and stuff like that, they've changed it. So they have this thing, I think it's called, Haley knows them, I think it's called Nightfall or something like that. It's like an upgrade you have to get, but once you get the upgrade, then you can traverse the city like you do in the Batman games. But you have to get that first.
So like what you're saying is I'm not even a superhero yet. Like I don't have any of my traversal abilities.
You just run.
You can use your bike and you can. It's called Knighthood. Thank you, Haley. You can use your bike and you can grapple, but you cannot. You know how in the Batman games you can grapple and then essentially fly across the city.
Yes.
You can't do that in this game.
You just launch yourself off.
Yes, and you jump and then you just launch
from.
No, you don't even glide. You launch, jump.
Well, they're not Batman.
Like rooftop to rooftop.
Right, they're not Batman.
They have Batgirl.
I mean, Nightwing and Robin should be able to do those things.
Can Robin glide?
Yes.
I don't think we've ever seen Robin glide.
He has a cape in the same fashion.
Isn't it like a little cape?
Yeah, it doesn't stop him from gliding.
Yeah. Robin has a cape like Mario has a cape in like Mario 3.
Mario glides, doesn't he? Mario flies.
That's true. Yeah. Beat me with my own analogy.
Point dead.
But everything that and I think that was my problem with the game at first. Because my whole idea was, okay, at worst, this is just going to be a bad version of the Arkham game. Because I'm like, it's going to still have the same combat. No, it doesn't.
Did they not do a good enough job for those of you, and I know you are somebody who's watched every bit of the marketing and stuff for this. Have they not done a good enough job telling people that this isn't an Arkham game? Because that's all I keep hearing all week from people that are playing is like, it's not Arkham. It's like, is that a fair thing to be expecting? It's not Rocksteady.
I think people had, well, like I said, it's Montreal. So people thought, okay, it's going to be similar to those games. It plays more like a game.
That's one game.
Yeah.
Right.
It plays more like a Vengeance. And I think that's what kind of throws people off. Because the fighting system is completely different. You press instead, how
I guess most customers don't know even who the hell is making it. They just know it's the latest Batman game.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? Sense. I don't even think it's that. I think it's people are getting a little tired of these open world.
No, that's not it.
I don't know, man.
It's because you are. Nope, that's not it.
It's the mechanics. It's the mechanics. It's definitely mechanics because
people love open world games.
What made the Arkham games fun was the combat. Right. Like, hey, you press the triangle button to counter, you press the square button to fight, and you press the circle button to like dodge and stuff. In this game, you press the triangle button for heavy attack, you press the square button for regular attack, and you press the circle button to dodge. There's no counter
like
button.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, but the combat is not as fluid. Yeah,
that's what Josh.
No counter system.
Josh in our Discord was saying that all the gameplay is very, very different, and that's why he wasn't digging it. Which I get.
It's not the same. It's not as fluid, and you don't feel as badass as you did when you were being Batman. Now you can upgrade and feel better, but you don't have the same feel to it. It's not as fun as it was before. So it feels more like a generic game than it did than any other thing else.
That's interesting because of all the things that they did with all those games, nailing the combat was probably the best thing. I mean, their combat has been copied and emulated from other developers for other games for so long. That was kind of like a generational kind of combat style.
Yeah, and I think to get rid of that kind of hurt it.
This isn't an Arkham game. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
it's not an Arkham game.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what I was trying
the most.
That's what I was trying to say I think people were expecting, maybe I just didn't say it the right way. People were expecting.
You made it. Sorry, Chase. Chase is going on a real serious point here, but we've made it. We have 6chat69 in the chat. We've made it.
All right, hold on. Let me write this down.
Yeah, you want to get that? Get that, Delvin. I put that up for my dude. Chase, hit us with the actual truth.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, the whole thing for me is that the game itself, you both kind of talked about it, is that it's not an Arkham game. But when you don't do open world games right, that's what I'm trying to get at. We've had situations like that where there have been games that have come out. It's like, oh, looks like it's going to be great. It's an open world game, and then it's stale. And that's what I'm hearing from some people around this game, is that where's the longevity in it? What's going to be the in-game content? Like, it doesn't seem like they went in a direction. It's almost like they're going with the recipe of what everyone else has done. And how do we get these live service games going, extra money into our pockets versus actually having some sort of direction? That's what I'm getting at. And I think people are kind of getting tired of seeing that kind of stuff.
Was this supposed to be a live service game just because it had multiplayer?
I think there's supposed to be some live service element to it, from what I understood, from what I remember.
Yeah, it feels like it was some live service element to it. Like, you can like Avengers almost.
And I'm not a fan of that. That was my point.
You could buy loot crates and stuff like that.
We don't want this.
Because there's like random chests all around the city that you can pick up. Like, hey, you can upgrade Nightwing's suit. They don't have that in the game, but
yeah, no, I'm not feeling it.
I don't know.
I want no parts of this.
When they originally announced it, Donnie, it sounded like that was part of potentially the thought process, like as it evolves. So,
dude, if there's an expert in what they said about Gotham Knights, it's definitely Haley.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you the vibe that
I don't want to know half as much as Haley knows about.
So I'm looking at the FAQs. There's no microtransactions.
I never got the impression that it was live service.
It's just
you guys
play the game with 3 other people.
Was just that it might not be very good. That's always been my impression.
I was with you
this entire time. I was like, I'm glad you guys are excited. I don't think that looks very good. And I was thinking about this week. There have been a few of these examples. I was this way with Mass Effect. Remember Andromeda? And I was like, I don't know, guys. You're all hyped.
That was a million years ago. I don't remember any thoughts you had on it.
Yeah, he was right about that one.
we get on these a couple times, and sometimes the game just doesn't catch me. It catches me in the wrong way. I love Batman games. You guys, I've played them all. And this one I have had no interest. I didn't even want to try this one. I was just like, there's nothing here for me.
Yeah.
It's more disappointing than anything else. I don't think it's bad. It's just disappointing.
I've seen a lot of people that are playing it, like actual people hands-on playing it, that are enjoying it. I'm seeing a lot of tweets and people it's kind of like maybe like a Saints Row thing. I've seen a few people, like Josh returned it, which is surprising because he loves Batman. But in like my video games feeds and stuff on Twitter, in articles, headlines written, I'm seeing, like we normally do, we'll see a lot of people that are, replied to them. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun for all of its issues. Yeah. I'm having fun. One
of my boys that I used to play Destiny with, he's really enjoying it. He's a big Batman fan, but has somehow not played any of the Arkham games.
That is interesting.
What?
Yeah. I was like, how did you not play these? Like, I just didn't. He was too busy playing Nintendo. That's basically what it was.
I got you. Yeah, playing
so
Nintendo.
He just didn't. Yeah. But he's enjoying it. Like, I'm having a good time. I was like, yeah, that's because you haven't played these other ones. I was like, you need to play these after you play this. So enjoy those, and then when you're done with that, play the Arkham games. They're cheap now. Just get the package and play them. So
yeah,
we'll see.
But like I said, it's not bad. It's just disappointing. It's mediocre.
It's
like
mid-tacular.
Exactly, mid-tacular. Like it's like all right, it's okay. Like all right,
it's a video game.
I'm on the city. Yeah, I'm on the rooftop. Whoa,
here's the thing.
Here's these thugs.
10 years ago, we used to get games like that all the time. It was the norm for it to be like better than that. That was the rare thing for a game to like step out of that, especially in superhero spaces. Like that just used to be like all superhero games.
Yeah, because they were all movie tie-ins, so it was just like
they were all just kind of like, it's good. It's not like a great game or anything, but it's fun, like that was every superhero game. And then like Spider-Man comes along and changes the game. And we've had a lot of, and I will say we've had a lot of great games. Like just generally, we've had a lot of great games for the last 6 years.
Yeah, a lot of great movie tie-in games like Mad Max, really good. The Lord of the Rings game, Shadow of Mordor. Those games
give Mad Max another try.
Really good.
I gave up on that after it kept making me go find gasoline.
Donnie, you said something interesting earlier, and I'm wondering now if this is kind of what, to your point.
But I love Mad Max. I should give it another try.
It's good.
The
I could find a hack to let me just have gasoline and then play it. I bet I would love it.
That was your hang up?
I remember constantly being like, I'm so sick and tired of having to go get a gas can.
I think you can upgrade your gas tank. If I remember correctly.
I should probably do that. I love Mad Max. Continue, Chase. We talk over each other all the time.
I know. I wanted to let you finish your thought.
Oh, don't do that. You'll never talk again.
I know.
Just talk louder and talk over him.
You'll never talk again.
You made a point earlier about maybe the marketing around this game wasn't as clear, and I might be a victim of that, because thinking about it, if it was made clear, maybe in the FAQs that it's not a live service game, the presentation gave me that vibe.
I mean, I definitely think the way they've presented it as a multiplayer game, I don't necessarily associate that as a live service game, but this has definitely been pitched as a play Batman with your friends. I do think not having Batman and going like with this Gotham Knights folks, while I know comic book fans are probably really excited for this, I think that might not appeal to the people that have, like history with the game and the franchise.
I think
it may not just be as appealing.
I just don't think they were clear. What I'm getting at is I don't think they were just clear with their messaging, though, because like I walked away from it with a different impression, and I'm wondering if like you take that part of it that I'm talking about, but then you also take the part of it of they were thinking it was going to maybe be an Arkham game in a co-op form, right? And it's not that.
When you keep hearing, you're not alone. Everybody that I've heard, like,
so that's what I'm getting at.
They've mentioned Arkham, so I want to say because it's Gotham Knights, because it's a different studio, they probably set out to be different, and they probably just didn't prepare people enough for that.
That's what I'm getting.
That's so weird because I watched. That might be fair. I guess it's because I watched enough of the little gameplay videos and like just what they were doing that it is exactly what it is. Like, I expected that.
But you're the informed gamer.
Yeah,
when the game releases and a lot of people go to GameStop and they buy the new Batman game and they take it home and then they find out it's not a Batman game.
I will never understand how people can be excited about something and then not do any research into what the hell it actually is. Like, there's so much information out there. It's not hard. It drives me nuts.
That's the problem. There's so much information. People just
I will say this. It's funny. I think people.
I voted for people today I didn't know. There's so much information out there. I have no interest in trying to find out what that is. So.
But if you're looking for just this one game and you Google Gotham Knights game, you're gonna get first to hit is gonna be the homepage. So you can go there and there'll be other links to like their YouTube channel that's gonna give you the gameplay and the trailer and stuff. So it's
mean, you're not wrong, but I know that you know why that isn't the case. You worked at this. You know why that.
I think there was an audience that was thinking, "It's no way they're gonna do a whole game where there's like no Batman." Nope, that is the case.
To that point, Dev, like when I heard one that Batman wasn't in it, so that kind of made me like go, okay, maybe I'm not as interested.
Yeah, that was me for sure.
But the other part of it was I've kind of started to get away from the open world stuff. Like it's become a little too much for me.
Which we heard from you earlier.
Yes, was my point. Yes. Thanks, Donnie.
That you then
let's just run it back. Why don't we?
You then presented as all like just the majority. Like people are just tired of these open world games.
There's just a lot, though. There's a lot.
There is.
I'm glad you're here, Chase.
There's a trend. I mean, it's definitely a trendy thing.
You know what?
It's not just a trend. It's not like a fad. They sell. That's the thing. They sell. Generally, when people make open world games, they sell.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. You're right.
So
I think
there's move towards that.
There's been poorly done ones, is what I'm getting.
Definitely has. For sure.
I feel like
And once
Arkham is small enough to, even though it's open world, it still should feel contained.
It's not kind of like what we think when we think open world. Like Ghostwire Tokyo is
Assassin's Creed.
Open world, but it's kind of not. It's not what I would call. I even said that about Cyberpunk. No. Cyberpunk is open world. If you played Cyberpunk, kind of not. It's not.
It's like open space. It's
not GTA. It's a sandbox. You can go around. Ain't a whole lot to do out there, but
there's structure to it. It's not.
Horizon is open world.
Yeah.
You know, like that's an open world game. You know, there's a little bit more, but that's the issue is we are not the issue. We just have so many that have done it that now we have varying levels. We have degrees of open world.
Yeah.
You know, there's Valhalla open world, and then there's like Gotham Knights open world.
I think the problem is anything that's just not a linear story, we automatically classify it as open world. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just give me Arkham Asylum. It's a Metroidvania. That's all I want.
It was so good.
Happy.
Man, it was so good.
Oh,
I played that game.
It was amazing.
I beat that game 3 times. And still, to this day, my favorite experience playing that game is on Wii U.
Wow.
Absolutely loved it on Wii U. It was so much fun to have like all the bat tools and everything on the tablet and on the controller and being able to do it and use the gyro and the back claw and the boomerang. It was so much fun. It was cool.
No.
I knew you.
Anyways, moving on. Donnie, what'd you play this week?
Where do you want to start? We can start with Chase and I. We can start with Call of Duty. Where do you want to start?
Well, I played Call of Duty too.
You want to start with Call of Duty? Chase, you play Call of Duty?
Start Call of Duty.
No, I canceled my pre-order.
What?
Oh.
Well,
here we go.
Unfortunately, Chase, then I would have to tell you that I think you've missed out on one of the better Call of Duty campaigns that I've played in recent memory.
Absolutely.
And one of my favorite Call of Duties, probably of all time. I absolutely had a ball playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 this weekend. I talked about it on Sweet Hangs. I know not everybody listens to Sweet Hangs. I will talk about it here as well. But just to sum up my thoughts, I thought the campaign played out like a greatest hits of Call of Duty campaigns. With some excellent characters and just tremendous presentation. The damn thing is so cinematic. It plays out like you're watching a movie, in a good movie. Like if it was a movie, I'd watch that movie. Like
I want
if
them
next
to just
week
take
they were like,
and release it as a movie.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 starring some actor, the movie, and I'm watching.
We don't even need starring any. Just give me exactly what the game was, and just give me that.
It was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the mechanics, which we can get into a little bit more. Have you guys beaten it?
No,
I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, so I don't know. Then I can't really talk. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything. Can I talk about mechanics, even if you guys haven't got there?
I mean,
mechanics aren't spoilers, right?
Nah, not to me.
There's no like blades of chaos to find.
Yes, guns. I mean,
okay, so the game does a really good job. The thing that I liked a lot about the campaign is I found the campaign, I was a lot of tension. The enemy AI is really good. I died a lot. I'm not afraid to admit it. It's tough. Like there are times where you can't, like back in the past, man, you were like super soldier. You get shot 6 times, hide behind a car, back up and shooting again. Not this game. You get shot like once or twice and you were down. So it's very realistic in that regard. And but mechanically, it throws curveballs at you that you've never seen in a Call of Duty campaign again. There's this crafting levels where you lose your guns and you have to scrounge around the space to craft things to fight your way out of it, and they are super fun.
What?
And I wonder if they are like kind of an experimentation of what the future Call of Duty campaigns might be, because they put you in multiple scenarios to do this kind of stuff in. And there are multiple campaign levels that they let you approach from different directions. And then there are like multiple levels where you're just playing like linear Call of Duty. And the mix of them, because they hop from one to the other to the next. Varied. Yeah, it's very varied. You never feel like you're doing something for too long or you're bored, and it just keeps you going. And it kept me wanting to keep playing. There were multiple times during the campaign where either for presentation or for gameplay or for tension, for one of these factors, I sat there and was like, this is great. I'm having a great time, which I thought was hilarious to watch the entire internet. Like, not the entire internet, I don't go that far, but a lot of folks have taken a lot of shots at it.
Yeah.
And I just don't agree. And everybody has the right to their own opinion. This honestly, campaign alone, just the campaign. Call of Duty is one of my favorite video games I've played this year. It's on my game of the year list.
Wow.
I would also add it to my game of the year list. Like Donnie said, like the levels and what you're doing, it's so varied. Nothing overstays its welcome. You're thrown into situations that you're not expecting. And there's so many different ways to tackle the levels. It's not just this straight linear experience. You've got an objective, and then you just got to figure out how do you want to complete that objective.
Yeah, you don't just walk in and shoot everybody.
Yeah, I mean you can, but you don't have to. There's other ways to do it, and it's so much more fun and rewarding to figure out. Okay, what can I do? And like your support characters, they all drop little hints of what you could do, or let's try this, and everything is so wonderfully voice acted. Like the characters all like you really enjoy them. There's so many different like twists and turns that you just you don't see coming. I know they've showed the level where you're on the boat and like the crates are all sliding through.
Dude, that level
I jumped on top of them.
Yeah, I did too.
I platformed that.
That level is so good for like Call of Duty level design. It's one of my favorite levels I've ever played. That was one of those moments. When I reached the end of it, I was like, holy shit, that was great.
Right?
It was so much better than when we saw the E3 demo. I was like, that was really great. It's so good because enemies will come at you from multiple things. Structures are moving, and like you can die at any minute. I was constantly like on a swivel. Constantly look around, like just engage.
Like, where are they shooting at me from?
Exactly.
What is going on?
Shooting me?
What's the level?
Where are they?
In old Call of Duties, right? You were like a human shield. How quickly do you die?
Oh, you die
quick.
Very easy.
Very.
There's certain levels you get shot once, you're dead.
You have to be stealthy, or like stealthy, or at least like you have to use cover.
Okay. So you can't just run around
and shoot. No,
right.
You will die, and you will die a lot. I died, and I died a lot. I've never claimed to be very good at games, but I've beaten every Call of Duty, and I don't ever recall dying this many times in a Call of Duty campaign. I felt that 2019 brought that tension and that sense of
it did.
If I step out, I'll get shot. This is way more than that.
Wow.
This is a further in that direction than that was.
Sean was asking, why did I cancel? Well, the multiplayer is what did it for me. Now I'm wondering, should I pick it up just for the campaign alone? And you're convincing me
that's
now.
The only reason we picked it up. We're not playing. I don't care about that multiplayer.
I'll play a little,
I do, but I did not enjoy the multiplayer, so that's why I canceled. But the campaign might convince me though.
The presentation is.
Did you play the 2019 campaign? Okay, then you should play this one because this one is like
Did you like the 2019 campaign? Was a better
even greater.
Yes, but I don't know. I had moments in it where it had me, and then there were moments where I checked out a little bit. This is sounding a little bit though like there's different. I like when things are different though, like you were talking about, where it's not the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, 2019 is the same. This has much more different
elements. So much variation. Yeah,
different situations, different scenarios, their entire stealth missions, like their entire, like I said, these kind of, I guess, crafting missions. I don't know what you call it, survival missions. Maybe a better way.
I would say survival is probably a better way because you just don't have
missions, survival missions.
You don't have your guns.
Missions.
You said stealth. Metal Gear Solid. Is that what we're talking about,
dude? I kid you not. This almost, it feels like, I told Sean on Sweet Hangs, it's kind of like a first-person Metal Gear. And sometimes I definitely get those vibes. Yeah. There are several levels where like, it's a fucking Metal Gear game.
Metal Gear.
It's not that far off from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said stealth. That got me a little excited.
Yeah.
It's good. It is kind of like good. I haven't finished it, but I'm excited. I can't wait to jump
Dishonored,
back into it.
There are several places where you can choose to run a gun or be stealthy, and you can be super quiet. You can not kill people. Like they're just. It's really good, man. I loved Modern Warfare 1's campaign 2019. I loved it. It wasn't my favorite ever. That was still Infinite Warfare for me, but I thought 2019's was great. This is way better than 2019.
Yeah. These characters, man. Oh my goodness. The characters, they're so well done.
The turns and the twists. I mean, it's a good movie. It's a good script.
Yeah, it's really good. Is.
I like it. I've been so hyped for this game all year. I kept reminding everybody I was so excited when it came out. I'm happy we got to play early. We have a little news on that here in a bit, but
Yeah, I almost didn't pre-order it, and I was like, you know what? I'm not playing nothing.
Was it me in the DMs? Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Because I was like, I'm having so much fun. I've been in those DMs all week. I'm like, this is so good. It's so great.
Same, Ash.
Yeah,
same.
Because I actually pre-ordered before it came out, so it wasn't even you like in the DM. Okay. I just didn't have time to play it until Sunday. But like, just I was like, God, I want to play it.
But I think what has me like now more interested is the varied approaches like you talked about. But you both said game of the year candidate. You're serious?
It's not my game of the year now. It's on the list. I keep a running list of where I would have it.
Yeah, but that means it's a candidate.
Yeah. Okay. So candidate, yes. It's right now. It would be 2 or 3 on the year for me. Right
Whoa.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best games I've played this year so far. It is just that good.
I got a lot of games I'm about to play in the next month, but right now, as it currently stands, I'm looking at my rankings. I have 6 games. Call of Duty is 2 or 3. I got to give it a little more thought, but it's definitely better than 4. Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, the mechanics of a Call of Duty game alone, they're always really good. This steps it up a notch with the variation and level design, the way you approach levels, what you're doing in those levels, and then the story is fantastic.
Yep.
So it just kind of hits
and the
in all the areas.
It's a beautiful game.
Oh, we're also playing on PC. We should let you know that because we wanted to crank it up to 11.
And it's awesome. It's incredible.
It's
real good. It's real good.
Talk about optimized. This does everything that Gotham Knights should have done.
The Amsterdam level that the internet's going over was awesome. That's another one of those. Yeah, it's so good.
And I saw some stuff from that.
It's like you travel the world. Like again, it's like a movie. Like you hit a level and then it's a cutscene. You're somewhere else, and I was telling Sean, a lot of times the internet gamers will complain about like reused assets in a video game, about a lot of things looking the same. This game feels every complete level is a completely different redesigned thing you've never seen before.
Interesting. Okay.
They're all completely different locales, different variations, different stuff, different lighting, different. I mean, it is like, so every time you're dropped in a new place, there's like a new thing to look at and a new thing to explore. It doesn't feel like, I know how Call of Duties can be. It doesn't feel like some of the Call of Duties in the past. This is different. This is a whole different thing.
You're not just in the desert the whole time or something like that. It's like completely varied. You're dealing with different teams and they're all working together, and it's great. Dude. Delvin, did you want to add anything to this conversation? Just jump in.
I think y'all done nailed everything. Really, it's great. It's really good. I can't complain. It's a fantastic Call of Duty game. Dude, of course, I'm not going to touch the multiplayer at all because fuck that shit. But it's great. It's a great action movie, a good action movie at that. So definitely play it. Even if you don't, you normally play the campaigns, I'd say play this year's on because this campaign is really good.
Even if you pick it up, cheaper after post launch, definitely put the campaign on your to-do list. If you come away with nothing else, play the campaign.
It's definitely out of 6. I will say that.
It's really good, man. It's so good.
I cannot believe 7.46. I'm like, no, this campaign is really, really good.
So who gave it that rating?
Didn't IGN give it a 5 or something?
IGN gave it like a 6 or 7.
Whatever.
They gave it a 6.
Which is sad. Call of Duty does not get the flowers it deserves, man.
No, I've been saying this for years.
Just like Madden. They treat it just like Madden.
Well, in their case, they're way better than Madden. Madden, I kind of get. Call of Duty is best in class in a lot of cases every year. And people, I think the reason that it doesn't get its credit is because they deliver every year. So it's easy to overlook. But you see all these other shooters out in the world?
Especially the Modern Warfare.
How's the fucking Battlefield treating you?
Right.
That's a 6. How is that?
That's a 4.
No.
That's a 4.
If Modern Warfare 2 is a 6, then what the hell is Battlefield?
2.
It's gotta be. No.
A fucking 2.
And Call of Duty doesn't hit every year. We said I like Vanguard's story. You did as well. We talked about it.
Yeah, I love
the
Vanguard's
story and the characters are great. The campaign and the presentation wasn't. It did not hit like Call of Duty standards. A little buggy. It's kind of messy, right? We're not just homers. But this one, God, Modern Warfare 2 blows Vanguard out of the water. Vanguard was just this is a really fun Call of Duty campaign. Modern Warfare 2 was this is a brand new Call of Duty campaign. You've never played one like this before.
I agree. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, Infinity Ward, they know what they're doing.
And so reviews are stupid. Who cares about IGN things? Reviews are dumb. We've been over this 1,000 times.
Yeah. All right, well, now you can talk about your device.
Yeah, let's do Cloud Deck. G-Unit. That's it. So yeah, I've spent the better part of almost a week now with the Logitech G Cloud, the G Unit as we call it, the Cloud Deck as I keep calling it. And yeah, I've got notes. I haven't had notes in a while, so let's do notes. Okay, first things first, let's talk Ergo. We can just talk about that now and just get it out of the way. So I think the device is great to hold. Chase, you had said in our Discord, you said hot take, this is the most comfortable gaming handheld you've ever held. And I think a lot of people might hear that and go, that is a hot take. I don't think it is actually, because the handhelds that we have haven't been that great. Like, what's the competition? The 3DS, the Game Boy, the Vita. Yeah. Like, these aren't amazing ergonomic machines to have. A lot of them are like Switch. Flat. Yeah, they're just flat things that you hold on to. The only thing, Ashes, I've been calling it the G Unit the whole time. The only thing that I think is worth comparing is the Steam Deck, which I also think is actually quite tremendous to hold, especially for its size and weight. Is really nice to hold on to. It's got a great feel. This is definitely, obviously, much lighter than that. But yeah, it's nice. The grips feel nice. I like all the buttons. I like all the action. D-pad's good. Sticks are great. I think the D-pad is good. The triggers are okay. Some people may or may not like the smushy triggers. I don't mind them, but they're not my favorite.
Let me ask the question, since you're talking about that. The Steam Deck has a problem where when you're holding it, it has that vent that gets hot as hell.
Yeah.
Does a Logitech have something like that?
No. There's no heat.
Okay, perfect.
It's like a tablet, man. It's cold to the touch the whole time. This thing doesn't run hot.
Delvin,
it's not doing
sell the goddamn Steam Deck and go get you a PC. Let's just stop this.
I think the only thing ergo-wise with this that I would even have a complaint, and it would be a minor one, is there are times when I'm moving my thumb off the right thumbstick that I might touch the screen.
Yeah.
And in some games, that'll trigger like touch controls. So that totally fucked me up in one game. I was like, oh shit, I got to make sure that I'm very careful not to like swipe that screen, because if you're like sitting there holding it, it's very easy to just kind of just like that.
Oh, it's much bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's honestly, Donnie, from what you said a moment ago, I've encountered the Steam Deck. I have. It's the best handheld I've ever encountered from a form factor standpoint. It's hands down the best. There's not anything remotely close to it from the ergonomics, the grip. I had like a 6-hour gaming session earlier on Sunday, and I totally didn't even realize how much time had passed. Normally when I play on the Switch, within an hour, I'm like, this is horrible. What am I doing?
Yeah, and most of us have Switch grips. Like I have multiple grips to put my Switch in to avoid that scenario that you have. And they're hot sellers. Like most all the Switch folks I know have a Satisfy grip, have a Skull & Co grip, I've got 3 or 4 grips. So I get it. This does feel like you're holding a Switch in a grip. That's what it feels like. So if anybody out there is trying to think about what it feels like, that's what it feels like. I thought I had something else to say, and I can't remember. I wish I had a little bit more to hold on to, and that might just be the size of my hands. Like I feel like it fits. Like I don't know. I just wish the device was maybe like the grips are just like maybe a little more rounded, maybe a little longer on the bottom. Not crazy much. It's just they feel like they fit kind of. It feels like the device kind of fits like in the middle of my hand instead of the palm of my hand. So I'd like to just kind of move it down just a tad, and that's very nitpicky, but it's just definitely something I'm like kind of wish I could just grab it a little more. Delvin, like we like our women, man. I just want a little bit more to hold on to.
Yeah, a little bit of thickness.
Need them curves.
Thickness. A little. Like she could chunk up a little. Just a little.
Yeah.
Good chunk. Me and my friends in high school call it. So Ergo's great. Dude, the screen on this thing is amazing. It's so beautiful. If you haven't seen my 100 photos that I'm posting all over the internet, it's phenomenal. It's a gorgeous screen. 1080p. It's so bright. It's so vivid. It's so colorful. And it's great. It makes for such a better experience. And having had the Steam Deck and now have this, I'm like, Steam should have put in a better screen. The Steam Deck screen is fine. It's like a video gaming screen. It's like the Switch screen. The Switch screen is fine. It ain't like this. The OLED screen is. The OLED screen's fantastic. And this is like on par with that. And it's not an OLED screen. But the visual clarity that you get from it is just really good. The size of the screen is great. I do love playing on it. I've played on it a bunch. I've played streaming games. We're going to get in through, like I said, I've got a bunch of notes, but I've done Android games on the go, ROMs on the go, streaming at home. I've played this thing a bunch. I've spent more time with this in the last 3 or 4 days than I've spent with a lot of video game things. It's the new shiny thing, but also I kind of wanted to try and do a little bit of everything before we talked about it on the podcast. So I've been trying to, make sure I could get through everything, and just the screen is such a standout. The screen and the speakers.
Oh my God, dude, the sound.
The speakers are
the surprise.
Yeah, like there are times when I've filmed a couple videos of me filming this thing while it's playing music or something, and you would think that I like dubbed the track over it.
Logitech knows what they're doing with speakers. I mean, Logitech makes really good hardware, period.
Yeah.
It was a standout, and it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. But the speakers are loud. Like, you can't just like be out and about, turn all the way to max. You'll bother the shit out of people. Like, you gotta turn that down. And at home, like, even, if I'm playing in the basement, there's loud. People around the house can hear me playing if I just have the speakers turned all the way up. Just great. Really good sound profile. Okay, let's see here. I want to get into a lot
to your point with the screen, it's a 16:9 aspect ratio, which that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing games like, if you're on a phone, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, and you get borders.
Yeah.
You don't want to play games like that. This fits the entire screen.
Yep. All right. So we'll just start going through the notes. I don't know. Like I don't think I have them. They're definitely not in any like order. So I may touch on something and then 4 points later come back to it.
Those weren't your notes?
Yeah, these are just kind of my running thoughts.
We didn't even get into the notes yet?
No, we haven't even started the notes. So what we did, we talked ergo and stuff like that. So I'll just delete those or pass over those. Chase, I'm interested to ask you if you've taken any screenshots on
it. So that was one of the things I was going to attempt over the weekend, because I haven't. Work's been crazy this week, so I've had a couple of hours here and there, but that was on my list of to-dos.
So I'm here to report that I think it's my favorite thing to take screenshots on.
Wow.
It's absolutely incredible because it's just Android. If you guys know me, how much I like my Chrome OS devices and all my Chromebooks, you take a screenshot holding the start and pause, the menu buttons at the top here. I don't know what the hell they call them on this one. Up here and over there. You push them together and takes a screenshot. And you can take a screenshot from anything, like any Android tablet, right? You can take a screenshot of the UI, from the game, of a ROM, whatever. It saves it to an album that I then turn on sync to, and it just automatically saves all of that to my Google Photos. So I can sit there and play and just snapshot away and then walk over to my computer and just type in Google Photos, and boom, there are all of my screenshots in beautiful clarity. They weren't downsized. I didn't have to go to my app. I didn't have to pick them. I didn't have to upload. They're just there. And I'm like, how the hell is this the thing that nails screenshots? We've got controllers with screenshot buttons. We've got systems with screenshot things. DVRs.
Because Android.
Like, this is the thing that nails the screenshot. So I know it's not a big deal, but it is a surprise.
Perfect,
like it makes so, like when I took some screenshots and then I just, you open up the folder, and this right here on the UI, it's right there at the top. There's a little menu button. There's a thing for photos. And when you click on it, it's Google Photos. It's built into the little game mode that you have. And yeah, it's saved to a folder. And all you got to do is turn on sync for that folder. And they automatically
And you've shared none of this in the game photography portion of the Discord.
I've been saving things. I've been sharing them on Twitter. I've been posting some screenshots on Twitter. I shared some screenshots earlier. So screenshots are awesome. They're really fun. Let's see here.
Imagine if they start doing that with videos. That'd be cool. 30-second clips.
Yeah, I could see that. These are probably maybe more overall thoughts, but again, I'm just writing my notes and thoughts as I have them. So, as I said before, as I continue to think, the price is high. I just think it's a lot to ask from most people. It's a lot to ask for what it is, to be honest with you. I said I wish it had more power, but I'm actually currently happy with, I think, the performance that I'm seeing. I do see some stutters in games. They're not frequent. I'm actually very impressed with Dreamcast emulation. My performance in all my Dreamcast games have been really good, really solid. At times I'll see a stutter, but you can almost like anticipate the stutters. It's basically like whenever the CPU is trying to load something, so like a scene changes or something, you get like a second of stutter and then it'll load. That doesn't really bother me much. I played some pretty taxing Android games. Grand Theft Auto, I could write them all down. I should have. Grand Theft Auto, Horizon Chase Turbo, Minecraft, like all the standard kind of affair. I didn't play Call of Duty Mobile because it doesn't support controls. I tried PUBG, but it doesn't support controls. I'd rather just stream those anyway. But I played Doom and Diablo and Max Payne, and yeah, performance is good. This was what we were talking about in the Discord a while back. Basically, when the Razer was being rumored, everybody was like, well, the Razer's Snapdragon's just going to destroy this thing. And I was like, that's probably true. I was like, but I think people are overlooking, or they're taking a video game console approach to a completely different device. That's not really how Android works. I have a slew of Android devices up and down from processors. And honestly, I have Chromebooks that have really old processors that outperform Chromebooks with really new processors. I think it's more about how the system is utilizing the chip at any given time. And when you use a device like this that has a game mode that's specifically built and designed to like isolate as many apps as possible so that you're getting the most out of this chip is probably punching above its weight. If you were comparing the performance from like this chip in a tablet. So if you were to say like this chip in a tablet, and then you were to pull like, frame counts or visuals from that tablet, this device is likely punching above that because it's not carrying all of that tablet stuff with it. And that matters a ton in Android land. I don't know how much you guys get into that stuff. And I'm not a phone person, so I can't even speak from phones, but on Chromebooks and stuff, it matters a lot. If you can turn a lot of processes off and hide them, you can boost performance in games on Android a ton.
That's what's so unique about this is that game mode you're talking about, it suspends and kills every other application and only, like you said, isolates what you've opened.
You can't multitask apps. In game mode. Every time you open a new app, it forces the other one to close.
Yeah, but here's the other benefit to that. This is how they're getting the crazy battery life.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have all these processes running in the background, you're going to extend that battery life out. So in multiple areas.
I played for maybe 6 or 8 hours on Saturday. And still had 30% battery life.
It's crazy.
Like was still going. But I did find a way because I like listening to music while I'm playing games. You can multitask apps. If you hop over to tablet mode and you turn them all on and then you pop back over, you can listen to music and play games at the same time. So there are ways to get around it if you want to. I'm going to save all of my issues, so I'll keep going down the list. Do we lose Chase? He just go off screen.
I think he might have went off screen. Okay. There he is.
Yeah. So those are all cons. So let's talk about the cons before I want to start talking about the streaming stuff. So a few cons that I have, they're mainly just Android issues, to be quite honest with you. But the first thing is I wish I could switch between tablet and game mode faster. They need to shortcut the list, do that. Like right now, it's buried in the menu. You got to go into the settings, go all the way to the bottom, go all the way to the right, click it to hop over. And then once you hop over,
a button.
Well, once you hop over to tablet mode, there's an icon to go back to game mode. So there should be an icon in game mode to go to tablet mode. Like it should just be there, and I should just click it and go over it. So that's minor stuff, but like I'm doing it enough that I'm like, this sucks. I shouldn't have to do this anymore. I don't like the keyboard that they're going with. Like the keys, they're like wider than they all taller, and I fat finger the hell out of it a bunch. It does support swipe, which is nice, but like I kind of wish it just had Google keyboard. Like just Gboard, just flat out. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. Let's see here. This isn't a pro Oricon. It's just a note that I wrote down. When you're playing games, you get this little, it's very faint, but a little yellow border around the bezel of the game screen. And it's just it's like a neat little aesthetic flair that kind of matches like the off yellow color of the buttons and the sticks. It's just a neat touch. I just wanted to talk about it. If nobody's ever seen it, when you put up a game, you see this little sliver yellow around the bezel. And I'm like, that's cool. And like for what this device is doing, I was impressed that they had taken a step that far to kind of like customize the experience, I guess. I was like, that's pretty neat. My biggest flaw with this device, here's what I wrote down. I think the biggest flaw is honestly that it's not a fully fledged gaming handheld. Like, I think a lot of people that come from that experience will find maybe something less desirable here. It's not Logitech's fault because they're working with other third-party tools like that they don't have control over, but they're just like weird issues when you're dealing with this device. Like I was watching YouTube, which is great. When you turn YouTube on, you play a video and it plays widescreen and it supports the controllers and stuff. I was like, this is fantastic. And then I clicked a video that went into a playlist, and then the tablet turned portrait, and then I couldn't go back to it. When I hit full screen, it wouldn't go back to landscape. So I had to like bounce out and close the app and then open the app and do it again. There are like weird little kinks that I've run into with like Android based settings like this. It's hard to explain. Not every app is supported. The controls aren't supported across every game. If a game has touchscreen, right, just having the controls doesn't enable them. It's like, it's not, when you play like the Switch, everything, the entire thing, every piece of software, everything you touch has been designed to work with that. This isn't that, right? It's a tablet with controller support on it, right? So you still have to navigate tablet-like things that you're going to encounter, from it. So just, that's probably my biggest flaw that I can throw at it, which is really not that bad considering I've played this thing probably for 25 plus hours so far, and I'm having a blast with it. It really, and I'm not saying that to like put it over, as Jace would say. I'm actually quite impressed with how much I'm enjoying it because it's doing a lot of things for me. So now we can actually start talking about like some games, right? So first day I got it, definitely started configuring, Game Pass, GeForce, all the things, right? Then started putting all my Android games on it. Started playing Grand Theft Auto and Telltale and all that. Then started getting into the emulation stuff. So I've got Duck Station, and I've got Redream, and I've got RetroArch, and I've got my Super Nintendo stuff, my Game Boy stuff on it, Dreamcast stuff on it. I've always wanted a Dreamcast Mini. I've been asking from Sega to have a Dreamcast Mini forever because I don't want to play Dreamcast games on my PC per se because I want it to fit. I just always thought a Mini with like HDMI support for TV, widescreen would be a great way to experience that. I no longer want a Dreamcast Mini. This is my Dreamcast Mini. This has given me everything I could have ever wanted from a Dreamcast. I've got all of my 2K sports games on it, all of my racing games. They look incredible. Save states and everything. I've been playing NCAA football 2K2, which is one of my favorite games ever. I'm so nostalgic for this damn game and having a blast. And it looks amazing. It's so sharp with all the super sampling they're doing. And I'm seeing that across the board. I've been playing Mario All-Stars. I've been playing Mario 3. I have Clock Tower. I have Clock Tower on this damn thing. Full screen, everything ready to play. And everything looks, again, that screen is doing so much for these games. When you couple like the ROM support that I have, and I'm carrying like this legacy library around with me, I put a 500 gig card in it. And then you add on all of the Android games that I have from my years of Chromebook, where I have got, again, these are native, no cloud necessary. I've got Max Payne, and I've got all the Grand Theft Auto games. Everything that Rockstar has ever put out on Android, I've bought it all. I've got The Walking Dead. I've got Streets of Rage. I've got Sonic. I've got Comic Zone. I've got Doom 2. I've got Batman. I've got Threes. If you guys ever play that game, it's awesome. OK Golf. I've got Retro Bowl. I'm walking around without any cloud necessary with like 100 options to play on this thing at any moment. I have 100 games that I can play locally on this damn thing whenever I want. So I'm never going to be like concerned that I have nothing to play on this thing if I don't have an internet connection, which is so strange that I see so many people saying that online. There's so many people that think this device doesn't work unless you're connected to the internet. And I don't know where that's coming from. If it's just like they're uninformed or if that's what people are peddling against it or something, but it's just not the case. It's an Android tablet. Anything you do an Android tablet or Chromebook, you can do here. So I have just a swath of stuff to play. And that's why I've been playing it so much. I have My Friend Pedro game, I got Oceanhorn, Oddmar, Horizon Chase Turbo. If you guys have never played it, Chase, did you put Horizon Chase Turbo on this thing? Put Horizon Chase Turbo on this thing. It's fucking amazing. It's incredible. The screen does wonders for Horizon Chase Turbo. It's one of my favorite racing games. Oxenfree. I got Netflix on this damn thing. I started downloading Netflix games because I went to go play Oxenfree and it was like, this is now a Netflix game. You've got to install that. So I installed that and they were like, here's 100 other games you can download. I'm like, well, this is how they get you, I guess. I'm already here. Might as well install a few more. So again, I'm walking around with a ton of games. Oh man, I didn't even mention this. Not that everybody get ready for Dev's eyes to roll. Pokemon, the trading card game, plays incredibly on this damn device. Plays way better than it does on the phone.
Pokemon, the trading card game.
You've never seen kids play Pokemon cards?
It's a Pokemon game. That's the trading cards.
Yeah, that was like a whole thing, man. That was a giant.
Yeah, so with cards, but there's a digital version of that you can buy cards like Monster and like all Magic and all the other stuff that you can do. No.
And it plays great. It runs really well. And anybody that's ever played it before knows that is not always the case. And it plays really well here. I love the white. It runs
really well and plays really well. The actual card game. Just use the cards.
You can't just always use cards. I don't always have cards on me. I'm not carrying decks of Pokemon cards.
You're not a Pokemon player then. If you were a Pokemon player, you'd have the cards with you like Magic players. They have the cards with them at all times. You never know when a game may pop off.
So nobody plays Magic, the digital card game? Because I do. I've got that on here too.
I have no idea.
It's good. A lot of people do. A lot of people.
Dev thinks people just walk around with that dumbass thing that like they had on Yu-Gi-Oh! On their arm just with fucking cards all over.
Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just out here like Tron. Want to see me live? Just come on. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Now let's talk about the cloud stuff. I have tried Luna, I've tried Game Pass, and I've tried GeForce. Game Pass still not very good via streaming. Shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. I'm still not having a great time. I tried playing Forza and Halo, and the latency on both, like the latency just alone, I was like, I don't want to play these like this. The same thing I've said about Game Pass streaming the whole time. I would never try to play a whole game via Game Pass streaming from start. What is so funny?
No, I asked Dev
private chat
if he would play Marvel Snap. That's all.
I'll have to catch up on that.
And I knew what that answer was.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Not at all.
So after my bad experience, I went back to Game Pass streaming yesterday and I tried playing. I was like, all right, let's pick another game that's like maybe better for streaming, not something so fast. So I tried playing Hellblade, which I love, right? You guys know I love the game. Mm-hmm. It's so damn muddy and washed out on Xbox Game Pass streaming. I might as well just play it on the Switch. Like, what the hell am I doing here? Damn. Like, what's the point of this? And I took screenshots and I posted those. If anybody doesn't agree with me. And I try to play Grounded and stuff, and it's like it's not bad. Like in a pinch, you could do it, right? If I had 10 or 15, 20 minutes and I wanted to play something, like totally can play it that way. Would I want to play it that way? Absolutely not. No, I don't want to play games that way. Why would I? I've got consoles and PCs. Like that's not why I'm here for it. Flash over GeForce Now. GeForce Now is the fucking truth. That damn thing is so good. I'm playing Far Cry 5 on this cloud deck. And it feels like it is running in the palm of my hands. I can't even tell that it's streaming. I'm like, this is incredible. It's so good that I want to.
I'm never going to give you credit for this.
Not because I want to pay. Not because I want to pay for it. It's just it's so good. I feel like maybe I should. I'm like they deserve some money for this. Like, this is just.
I was preaching this to you so long ago, and you just refuse to fucking believe.
Well, can I say something about so one thing for me. And I know that this is the opposite for you. Now, granted, let me give a caveat. I have old school DSL copper internet, which is the worst. Absolutely the worst.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not fun. But here's the thing. Like GFN, I can only get up to 720p where I live.
This is GeForce Now. Free tier. I'm playing. This is captured on GeForce Now. Just 10 before we started the podcast. My Far Cry pictures, you can go on Twitter. These are just screenshots that I took while I'm playing of GeForce Now, free tier. I'm not paying for anything of Tomb Raider. I just posted earlier. I took 4 of them. That's what the game looks like when I'm playing GeForce Now. It looks incredible.
Well, my Xbox experience is the opposite of yours. So I think, so this is one of the things that's kind of crazy with all this stuff is it always depends on your distance from a server, your internet conditions, your network. So I don't have the same issues you have with Xbox. It actually runs fairly well. But I know that you have had those issues because you've made it clear. You've shown some stuff. So I totally get it. But I know for me, I haven't had those issues. And I tried Luna again on this device, and it actually ran well for the first time for me. It doesn't run well on anything else, which is kind of strange.
I tried Luna. Luna, I did see some more latency than GeForce. Luna felt like a Stadia-like experience, except the image quality on Luna was really sharp. Image quality-wise, I was getting Luna's really nice and crisp.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Tad latency, playable, but latency, and like you notice it, like you have a third-party control in your hand. You know, like
Luna
it's not quite
always
there.
Drove me nuts with the latency. The latency on Luna always was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play like that either. Chase, you have an Xbox though, right?
Yeah, remote play is flawless.
Yeah, so I was going to tell you, a remote play on Xbox is incredible.
Flawless.
Does Game Pass streaming look like your actual Xbox?
Yes.
Series S?
It's that good. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have the same.
You have a Series S?
Yes.
That might make sense. Yeah, because I definitely think the Hellblade I was playing the other day looked like the Hellblade that I would play on a Series S. Does not look like the Hellblade I would play on PC.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's for you, it's the image quality. What I will say, Donnie.
Hellblade played fine.
Okay.
I totally could play it. It just looked muddy and soft.
Here's what I will say about it. There is inconsistency though from time to time. That part they need to get ironed out. Like from what I have played, and I've played the 3080 tier with GFN, and I know this device can't do that, but it's consistent. To your point, GFM, when it runs, it is consistent. There is no difference between games. That does happen from time to time with Xbox. Like when you play Forza feels different than when you play what's another game that I played recently?
Gears is unplayable on cloud.
Gears is a good example.
Yeah, Gears is unplayable. I've tried to play both Gears and I was like, absolutely not. This is trash.
Latency is okay for me. Image quality, not so good. So it depends on the game, and that part they need to get fixed.
It just needs to be better. It just needs to get better. It's just not good enough for me. And every time I say this, somebody always says I played such and such on Game Pass and had a great time, and I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. Maybe I'm just too snobby. Maybe my standards are too high.
No, I think you're. I don't.
And I'm not gonna. I'm okay.
He's PC master. He's PC master.
If my issue is that I just want it to be better than it can be, I will totally own that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but
it's not good enough. But for me, I'm not playing games like that. Absolutely not.
But the truth is, there is inconsistencies.
Nope.
That much is true.
This is the whole point. And honestly, when I was playing Game Pass streaming the other day, I was like, if I wanted to play games like this, I would play them on the Switch. The fuck is the point? This is the whole point of me not doing this. I don't want to.
I'm not going to go that far, but I will say
that's what they feel like. It feels like I'm playing Hellblade on Game Pass streaming. Probably looks and runs a hell of a lot like Hellblade runs on Switch.
Well,
so
remote play, though,
not good.
I don't know if that's where you're going to go with this.
Remote play is fantastic.
Like Dev and Delvin. When I say flawless, you cannot tell the difference that you're playing on the console versus a local device. It's that good.
Yep. And on Series X, that is great. I can sit in my chair or sit on the couch and I can play Gears and all that. So I don't think I won't be doing much Game Pass streaming until somebody tells me it's better. But remote play, I'll be doing that a lot. And then I also hooked up remote play for PlayStation 5, which you can't use this device and control the PlayStation 5. It doesn't support the controls because PlayStation only supports PlayStation controllers for remote play. But there is an app on Android you have to buy. It's $5 that you can set up remote play through it, and it does. So I played Last of Us for a little bit on the little G unit.
How was it?
And
it's good.
It's good. Not as good as Xbox is because it's not a native solution. I don't think.
Right.
But totally playable. Totally. It was a lot like playing remote play on Vita. Not crazy different. If you ever play remote play on Vita, like it was cool that you could do it, but it's not like great.
It wasn't flawless. No.
It's not something you're going to do a lot of. But yeah, I have the option. Jack played Spider-Man on the G unit, which is a big part of why I got it. So you didn't have to take up the TV down here. And he had no problems. Like he started playing it and he never said anything that it was bad. He just kept playing it. So that's a good thing.
Nice.
That brings up an interesting point though, where you said that it's not native, like the application. One thing that you mentioned earlier about Call of Duty Mobile and even like Apex, they only work with Xbox and PlayStation controllers. So I don't know that I would knock this device for that because it doesn't technically work that well with
it's not their fault. It's like it's out of their control. Hopefully they sell enough of them that puts some pressure on them for folks to support them.
Yes.
It'd be nice to see PlayStation and Call of Duty and folks wrap them up. That app for anybody out there that's listening is called PlayStation Play, PS Play. And you just pay the $5 and set up. You go through that app and connect it to your PS5 on that app, and it totally works. I also did Steam Link, which is very much like the Xbox experience. Flawless.
It's
absolutely
so
flawless. I was playing No More Heroes 3 on the G unit, and it looked as sharp and great as it does on my PC. And I played golf on it. Golf, I felt like I had a little latency, but I honestly think that's just because the controls in golf are so precise. The timing is so on it that if you're not on it, right? Like if you're even like just a fraction off, like you'll feel it. But yeah, fantastic. So I had a lot of fun doing those. Yeah, I wrote down a bunch of experience on Xbox Game Pass for different games. I'm not even going to talk about them because this has gone on long enough. Plus, it just wasn't very good. There's no reason to talk about it. It wasn't very good. None of them was very good. Like I said, Luna, Luna does have excellent. I wrote down my notes for Luna. Luna has excellent UI and features. Like it's got built-in streaming, all the menus and everything's very organized, very nice, very clean. I was like, this is a great user experience over here in Luna Land. I played Metro, because I have Prime, so you just get games. Like I don't have to pay anything. You just have some games you can play. You can buy more if you want. Library. Yeah, but they just give you games. They're like, here's just 10 games you can play. So I played Metro Exodus, and it looked great on this screen. I mean, it looks so good. I was like, I should play Metro again. But yeah, just a little bit more latency than I would like. A few different things. I'm not sure if you've tried any of this. Reading on this device is fantastic. So if you're into comics or books or anything like that, I have the Life is Strange comics on the Google Play Store, and I booted those up, and it was great because I could turn the pages with the sticks, and it would highlight the text bubbles as I'm playing through the sticks, and it's just very vibrant. And I think it feels different than when you're holding a tablet, at least for me. Holding a tablet never quite felt like holding a book the way Amazon wanted you to feel like it was, right? Like the Kindle. But with this having like two grips and thing, you do kind of feel like you're kind of holding, like that open face book kind of in front of you. And I was like, this is neat. I'm not going to read a bunch of stuff because I never really do, but it's just something I wanted to try out to report back. And I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was better than people might think. Web browsing, the same thing. Like all of those kind of extended apps, as long as they're supported, are great. Some apps aren't, right? Widescreen, Fire Emblem Heroes, TikTok does not work. And it works. What happens is you'll load it, and then TikTok will load, and you'll have to do this, right? And then all of a sudden you're like looking at this damn thing sideways. So you do run, and that's what I was kind of saying earlier. Everything isn't tailored for this device. This device just kind of exists in this ecosystem. So there are just kind of some cons between that. And I already talked about the ROMs and stuff, and that was all. The rest of my notes were just all the different ROMs I installed. And this damn thing is a great ROMs device, like a great little, because Android is just so easy. I don't know Linux enough. I didn't like navigating the Steam Deck desktop mode and their little app thing that they have for all that. I hated it. It just felt like I was learning a new language, right? And it's a whole new stuff. I'm very well versed in Android. I know the file systems. I know the apps, right? It was so easy to me. I had 30 ROMs up and running on this thing in 30 minutes. I was just like, oh, let's just go download these 7 the things, and I'm just going to hook up my little USB-C adapter, and I'll move all my games over here, and I'll just go and attach the file libraries, and boom, I'm playing Mario.
What's storage like?
SD card, mini SD card. Yeah, it's got a card slot. I threw my 500 gig in it.
It comes standard dev with 64, but yeah, you have the expandable.
Okay. Because I was wondering about that. Like, what are you putting all this stuff on?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that Donnie talked about earlier that I also ran into, and I don't know if you had this,
26% of the storage for all the things that I read and told you that I have.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you ran into this, Donnie, but you mentioned about the system menu and getting to that very easily. Like that's a pain. And like if you're in a cloud gaming session, you go into the system menu, that's it, you're done. Like the session's over. So like that's not ideal. But I think the thing that really messed up for me at least 3 times, and I think it's fixed now. They did a system update over the weekend. I don't know if you updated your device, but mine did.
There was this auto update.
Okay. Yeah. It had this weird stutter with some of the menus. Like it would almost like it would like freeze for a second.
Oh, I haven't
move.
Yeah. I didn't notice or encounter any of that.
Yeah. It happened to me like 3 times.
Let me ask you this. Did you update it as soon as you got it?
No. And I think that's
I updated mine the moment I turned it on. It was the first thing I did. That's just nature. Chromebooks, Android tablets, like it's just my nature. As soon as I get a new device,
updates.
I honestly think that's what it was.
Drivers,
it was like
update.
It was the original like OS that
because auto updates was turned off by default. So if you didn't check for updates, you weren't getting them day one.
So I realized that. Like when I went in, I was like, something's wrong. Like I knew like something's not right here. So then when I did that seemed to fix some of it. I will say this though. I like that, and I don't know if you use this yet already, but there's a dedicated G button on the left of the device, and it opens up whatever like service you're using. It opens up that service's game menu.
Yeah.
Super, super nice. So you already have that like functionality there to like open up the Xbox menu. Or
it's
Luna.
more thought out. Like this game mode is more thought out than I think people think.
Yes.
I think people that didn't want to like it are just like, oh, it's just like a UI launcher. It's not. It's like a console. It feels like a switch. Like you click the button and it's like it's a switch.
They put a significant amount of time, thought, and care into this.
They've tried to optimize it,
both of them,
as best they can. Again, operating in a space that they don't control. They've tried to control and make your experience as convenient as possible.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You can tell
that
they spoke with GeForce Now. They spoke with Microsoft. You can see it in the device, like the way that it runs, the way that it's optimized. It's really good. Like again, there's definitely complaints, but I'm telling you, man, it's the best handheld form factor wise I have encountered.
The screen
to this point.
The screen is so good. Like it's so good. I really enjoy it. Like even just watching, I've watched movies and YouTube on it. Just watching stuff on it is kind of a treat. It's just a really great screen. I was using it today at the dentist. I used it yesterday. I went and got flu shots and took it with me to get flu shots. I've been taking around on the go just to kind of like, everybody's scared what'll happen if you're out there and out and about and you can't stream. Well, I went out and started doing it and I had just a ball of a time. It is so much like it's not any one thing. It's like the Swiss Army thing. It's so many things. I have so many things available to me. It's doing a little bit of so many things that it's like the perfect complement to everything else that I have. Right? It's not a dedicated Switch with just Nintendo. It's not a dedicated Vita with just that. Right? There's almost like no limitations to it. So it's very open and very flexible. I'm really happy that they honored that discount code. Me only getting mine for $250 feels like a steal. For $250, I'm over the moon with this device. For $350, I'd be like, it's expensive, but I'm really liking it. I definitely think the price is the biggest hurdle.
Yeah.
If you're not scared of the price, get it. You're going to have a blast. I'm telling you, it's so much fun. It's so easy to do. But if the price gives you a little heartburn, then wait, this price is going to come down. When Razer, like it already came down and it's going to come down further than that. Once Razer comes out and stuff like that, this price is going to fall. It's going to fall pretty quick.
$199 to $249 is the sweet spot.
Yeah. I said that before it launched, and I don't think that's not a crazy, that wasn't a crazy prediction. I think most people felt like $199 is like a lot of people would love this thing for $199. The reason I said the price was going to be $349 is Logitech's got to make their money, and they don't make it off game sales. And I thought it was going to come in higher than expected. So I wasn't shocked. I wasn't one of the people that were like, oh, it's dead. I was like, no, that's about what I expected it to be. So it didn't bother me, but I'm glad I got that coupon, for $250. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And they got it out to me pretty quick.
Is this going to be, so I think the question that a lot of people, and I've already been asked this, and I'm still processing this question myself. So I don't have an answer yet for me, just because I haven't had as much time with it as you have, Donnie. But is this a device that you see being in your like daily routine, weekly routine?
Weekly, sure. Not every day. My use case for this was always, again, it was about convenience. I'll take it with me if I'm traveling, if I go to work. That's not every day, right? That's usually once a week. I'll play with it when I'm at home, and I have enjoyed it this weekend. Like so for example, like when I was playing earlier, I was playing Tomb Raider while I was listening to a podcast on YouTube on my TV. On Saturday, I watched the Ohio State game while playing video games on the handheld. Like I can't do that, on my consoles and all that. Plus, I have my big comfy recliner over there upstairs. I'm on the couch, like I can't take my PC up there. I can now. I can Steam Link right to this bad boy and keep playing. I can go put my feet up, hang back in the recliner, put the TV on, get it all set up the way I want and sit there and play. And I've done that all weekend long. And again, I think a lot of people would like me to come and say I made a mistake and how bad it is. And I kind of wish I could, because I hate being painted as like a homer. This thing is everything that I thought it could be and more. It's better than I thought it was.
It surprised me.
I'm having a blast. I have zero regrets, remorse. I can't imagine wanting to get rid of it. I would like a better one.
A pro for sure.
Yeah, if they came out with a better one, I'm day one on a better one.
Wi-Fi 6, 120 hertz.
Snapdragon, it's better. I don't even need 120 hertz. I don't even need a new screen. If they were just it's just better. It's just a little
better
faster.
RAM.
Better RAM. Yeah, I'd buy it. I'd be like, sure, I'll send Dev this one.
So here's, I think maybe I asked the question wrong. This isn't a device for you that's just going to go over to the side. It will be something that you use.
Yeah. I'm using this.
Yeah. It's replacing his Switch.
It is. or not just the Switch, but some light Chromebooking. A lot of times when I'm watching TVs or movies or something, I'll have my Chromebook on the table next to my chair in my lap. As I can check Discord, check Twitter, look at something while I'm doing something, maybe play a little game. This is that now. I no longer have the Chrome. I have this, and I'll just have that up, and I'll throw up a Chrome browser, check scores. A lot of times I'll check scores, see what's going on around, just general web browsing. I can't be the only person that does a little bit of that while you're watching a movie or something. So this is that device
on my phone.
Yes. Well, this is that for me now. I'm trying to look at my phone as least as possible. Works on my phone. If I don't look at my phone, I don't work.
Work is not on my phone.
So
there's a separate phone for that.
Let's talk about that just for a second, if that's okay. That's one of the reasons why I waited to get this until I saw the Razer presentation. And then when I saw that it was a tablet with a Kishi, I was like, what
hard pass?
I don't want extra components, but
hang on.
It goes further than that, though.
I agree with you. I'm with you.
I don't want a phone where I'm getting notifications while I'm gaming. It's
probably an awesome tablet. I'll give them credit. Their tablet's going to be pretty great.
Nope.
Yeah, but it's not a handheld.
They can keep that shit.
That's the thing, though.
They
it's
can
not a
keep
handheld.
their tablet.
No, it's not a handheld.
I don't want that.
It feels
I want
like
it to be a handheld device.
If I wanted that,
a phone.
If I wanted that, I would have a backbone, because the backbone's fucking
Yeah, exactly. That's what this is. That's what the Kishi is. It's just I'm good on that Razer Edge. They can keep that.
This is a handheld. This isn't that. This is a handheld.
All right. Well, that's been fun.
Oh, and I played Mario Rabbids.
Oh, how was that?
It was great. I'm playing it on. I'm playing it here at the PC. I set up a little Switch deck. I've only played through the first world. It's different. It's pretty. It's really pretty. I know my OLED is probably making up for a lot of that, but still, it's very smooth and not as edgy as a lot of Nintendo games can be, or at least Switch games. Nintendo games usually don't have that problem, but it's much better looking than the first one. It's different than the first one. You can freely move, whereas before you had the grid, how far they could move and how far you could move, and you could see it. Now you can just kind of run around within an area.
Oh, that's cool.
And every time you go to the next pillar to hide, then your next turn, your area will move with you. So it's the same thing, except it's not you move on the grid like 4.
You're not stuck
you can
to a
just
grid
kind
spot.
of you can just move in your personal area freely.
Mhm.
So I can run over and drop kick somebody and then run back and get in a cover, which I don't think I like. It's not a
That feels
bother.
like cheating.
It kind of does. Yeah, I'm this isn't this tactic strategy thing I liked.
Right.
It kind
It's
of
supposed to be a risk versus reward type thing.
XCOM for kids, kind of. It's it's okay. It's not.
My son will appreciate that.
I think so too. I think it's more casual. Is more or less what I'm trying to say. I would prefer not to have it that way, but it doesn't bother me. It's fine. I'm still playing it. Don't get me wrong. It's just an immediate
a difficulty slider where you can be original controls.
I haven't even checked. I mean, I definitely turned up Sean said that you have to turn up the difficulty because the game's way too easy. So when they opted the difficulty, I selected the hard difficulty, but I haven't checked in the thing if I can revert to classic controls or not. But you also, it's much more of an adventure game, like a Mario game. They drop you and you kind of have these overworld where you can run around in. And there's like activities to do and things to find and puzzles to solve. And then you have like little battle levels sprinkled in there that you can go to do the battles to get the stuff to advance the story. So it's much more like a Mario game, less like the XCOM with Nintendo stuff game that the first one was. It's good.
Oh yeah.
It's a little handholdy. It's probably my biggest complaint so far. Dude, that opening thing was just so much fucking talking. I was like, let's go. Come on. It's just, here's the enemy, and here's the map, and here's how you move, and here's how you dash, here's how you attack, and here's how this person attacks. Cutscene. And here's the world, and here's an item, and here's the shop, and cutscene. And here's the thing, and here's another thing, cutscene. I'm like, when do I get to play the game?
Need that little thing in the beginning.
Yeah,
where they ask you, have you played something like this before? Cool, we'll skip you past the tutorial. There are some games that have that. Like, did you play this one? All right, cool. We need more of that.
It feels a little tailored for a wider audience. I won't say a kid audience, but a wider audience.
Yeah, I think the first one kind of wasn't, and I think that's why it worked.
Jack struggled with the first one.
He had like a decent balance to it. This one, for what I'm seeing, I saw my son play a little bit of it. It feels like it's more like, all right, we're going to hold your hand and walk you a little bit through it until you get to where you need to get at.
The first one did so well, they knew they'd have a wider audience for this one. So they were like, okay, let's give it a little more hand-holdiness.
Yeah.
These new people.
And I only bring those things up, just to offer why I'm having fun. I had fun. I played it for maybe 5 hours last night. You guys saw me. You saw how late I was up last night. Dude was just sitting here.
You were up really late. I was like, why is this
I was playing rabbits, man.
Yeah.
Playing rabbits.
Go to bed.
I had rabbits up. I had YouTube and TikTok
like
on the G unit next to me. And I was just chilling. I was having a good time. I had the day off, so I was staying up playing video games and I had fun. So I'll definitely be playing more rabbits.
Nice.
That's it.
Cool. Well, let's get into the news then.
I don't have a bumper selected.
Boo.
Let's try this one.
Slacking on your pimping.
So everyone at Nintendo is on acid. What do you mean? What's happening?
Well, now there's a Pong game happening.
Why is Pong suddenly here?
Well, there's an item that makes Pong start.
So another game from the 70s can break out at any second. Well, an episode because a mad scientist put spoons on his hands. So it's the homicidal spoon hand boy against Jared Leto. Oh, look. Is that an umbrella I got? Wait, you have armor and a sword, and I have an umbrella.
We haven't done any fighting.
Why would we fight when we're in the middle of a Willy Wonka nightmare?
I miss Clueless Gamer. Those are great.
I do too.
Yeah. Those were awesome.
So, a game from the 70s can pop out at any moment. So good. All right. We don't have a lot of news this week, which I'm actually quite fond of. I knew that we could get more into G Unit and Call of Duty and stuff like that. So it was great. Speaking of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 hit over 100,000 concurrent Steam users this past week, marking the third highest ever for a Call of Duty game on Steam, only behind the original Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. It is also the currently number one ranked game by revenue for Steam for the last 2 weeks, with an estimated 700 million pre-orders sold on Steam alone. I wanted to make sure this was on the show because I wanted to point out. Remember, everybody always says that nobody plays a campaign. Nobody plays Call of Duty campaigns. Nobody.
Nobody does. They did this on purpose. Let's go ahead and pre-order. You pre-order, you have access to the campaign. So then when multiplayer drops, you can just jump right in.
They should do
this. Was brilliant. It was brilliant. I have so many more friends who have actually finally played a Call of Duty campaign and are like, oh my God, this is really good. Like, this is what you've been missing the whole time, you idiots.
Yep. This is perfect.
Force them to play it. I like it.
Should do this forever. This is the perfect strategy going forward. Fallout 4 is getting next-gen enhancements on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles in 2023. Wow.
Why?
Maybe one day maybe I can get into Fallout.
How old is Fallout 4?
No.
It's not that old.
It's not that old.
It's old.
Still,
it's not that old.
Old enough.
I would I don't know. I would like to get into Fallout. I would just like somebody that's really into Fallout.
It's too long for you, Donnie. You're not gonna.
I never dug the combat.
Long game. It's not
fun. I want
You're
Fallout. but like Far Cry. I want Far Cry to make a Fallout game. That's what I want.
Then you want Far Cry.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
want it to
you don't
be
want
like
Fallout.
in a Fallout setting. That's what I want.
Wasn't that a New Dawn?
Yeah, and it was pretty
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
So you had that game already.
It was
Yeah,
great.
it already
It
exists.
could be better.
It already exists.
Steam also broke its concurrent user record this past week, topping out over 30 million online concurrent players at the same time. Go Valve. Largely Delvin and all of his Steam decks.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah. Stupid Steam Deck. Steam
In
don't.
not incredible Steam news, Uncharted's debut on Steam didn't crack the top 100. The total player count peaked at 10,000, woefully short of previous PlayStation games.
Wow.
What do you
I'm
guys
not
think about that?
surprised by that. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised by it, especially when it got like
It was below
it's
Days
not the
Gone.
greatest port.
Significantly below Days Gone.
Well, how many times?
Still
did we release
Uncharted
these games?
4.
I mean, it is, but I mean,
It's not
Yeah.
Days Gone.
I feel like most people have played Uncharted 4. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to think. That's what I was
Like,
thinking.
we've
People
been
who want to
there.
play it, played it. Yeah.
You hear that, listeners? It's the sound of goalposts moving. Microsoft has officially announced that Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I'm just fucking with you. I don't know if it. I was going to ask you, do you think it means something for PlayStation?
No.
Do you think PlayStation is looking at this going like, maybe we want to do that anymore?
I don't know what the fuck PlayStation is thinking. Okay,
Or maybe next time we do it better, or we do it more, or I don't know. Because
give
they
it to
like,
a better team.
all
to
of their
port. I
stuff
don't
was hits, right? Days Gone got a pretty significant run on Steam. So did Horizon,
Yeah.
and then Spider-Man was pretty big on Steam. And here comes Uncharted, like one of their flagship games, and just
And it's
nothing.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know. You already know I'm not a huge fan of
Yeah, I know.
Uncharted's gameplay.
But still,
the story is great.
I'm with you.
The
I'm not with
gameplay-
you. I love Uncharted, but I know that you're thinking that. But you got to remove that from this situation. There's something afoot here because all of the others were great, and this one's not just
They
bad.
all have
but
better
really-
gameplay. They're
but
all
really
better
bad.
games to play. That's the thing. They're more fun games to play.
I don't know about
Yeah,
that. I wouldn't
I
say
don't
that.
think the like critical reception doesn't back you up there.
I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck
I
about
think-
what critical
I
reception
know you
says.
don't, but you can't say
I
that
don't.
and then rule
I
it out.
can, and I did.
Oh my god. I don't know why I stopped to ask.
Well, I have. So what could it just be that? I don't know, because I know like how like customers on PC consume games is different than what my perception or view is. But is it because of paying? I mean, how much? Let me ask this: how much was the game? Let me not assume anything.
$50?
50?
$50.
That's not that bad.
No.
I was just going to get at is maybe it's just price of the games. Like
I've already
why
seen
am
it
I-
as low as 35 already.
Okay,
like,
well then,
Yeah, it's already
All right, then that's
35
not-
on another.
yeah, then never mind.
I
was
think
gonna
the
make a
sales
point.
are so
Like,
low that
in-
like folks are like, oh shit.
It could also be because Uncharted 4 is also it's older than all those other
And it's
games.
been released and re-released. And
Yeah, like
That's what
that's
I
my
first
thing.
said.
I feel like it's been around long enough to where you probably have already played it.
Yeah,
or
that was
found a
going
way
to be
to
my
play
other
it.
point. Was that either you've
Yeah.
already played it, or it could just be that people were like, "Yeah, I'm not spending more money on another game right now."
What was Uncharted sales on PlayStation?
Mm.
Not
I feel like it was
super.
a lot.
Not Spider-Man, right?
I don't think it was. I don't know. I really don't know.
Thought it was. I'll check. Let me see if I can check it out.
It probably was softer because of the fact that I think a lot of people didn't really care for 3, and then Uncharted 4 went through the whole Amy Henning gone
think it
story
could be-
re-release thing.
Do you think it could be the sequel thing?
Could be.
Like, nobody wants to jump in on 4,
Could be.
so they're like,
Okay.
It sold
It's the
16
first
million
week.
copies.
that's pretty good for
There
a
we go.
PlayStation first-party title.
It's really good.
Okay. Well, anyway, it didn't do well, so we'll see how that goes. Moving forward. What's the next one? Miles Morales?
Yeah, Miles Morales is
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
Sackboy's already out.
Sackboy's already out. Sackboy
No,
came out
Returnal.
already.
Is it Miles Morales or Returnal? Which one's
It's
that?
Miles Morales.
Okay.
Miles
comes
Morales.
out.
Miles Morales
real
is gonna
soon.
do great.
Like
As
a
it
couple
should.
weeks.
Yeah, Miles Morales do great on PC. I'll have to get that for Jack. Microsoft announced that Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, Age of Empires 4 are coming to Xbox consoles and xCloud next year. World's Edge Studios announced Age of Mythology Retold, a remaster of the 2002 strategy game. And then there's also Age of Empires mobile coming. Age of Empires 4 just got a huge update for free, including 2 new civs, 8 new maps, ranked team modes, taunts, cheats, naval rework, caster mode, new biomes, waypoint marker, improved AI, and more.
Knew it was coming.
I wonder what Jim Ryan would pay for that, or make people pay for that update. You guys think?
A lot.
The other thing that we got from Xbox, and this will round out the news, we have Microsoft sales stuff. I didn't write them all down because I don't really care. Just overall, revenue was up 4%.
That is very motivated.
Revenue was up 4%, but it was lower than expected, right? So while it was up from the previous quarter, is lower than expectations. Microsoft explained that they think they have, or that they're seeing they have less engagement. They also released less games. So, yeah, you get less games, you get less engagement, you get less money. Yeah. That's how that works.
That's how that works.
But they said the 4% was propped up by improvements in Game Pass. This PC Game Pass subscriptions have increased 159% year over year. Phil then went on to, I didn't write down the source. I want to say it was the New York Times. He did an interview, stock market, Wall Street stuff today. I think it was New York Times. Not sure. Where he revealed that 15% of Xbox's content and services revenue came from Game Pass. He thinks it'll remain at that same percentage in the future. Quote, we're seeing incredible growth on PC. On console, we've seen growth slow down, mainly because at some point you've reached everybody on console that wants to subscribe. I don't think it gets bigger than that. I think the overall revenue grows, so 15% of a bigger number, but we don't have this future where I think 50 to 70% of our revenue will come from subscriptions. So if you're looking for like a long-term outlook on how Microsoft is viewing Game Pass, that's it. I don't think any of this is a surprise. We're seeing lots of headlines about this. We'll talk about this in the next one. And most everybody's latching onto the Game Pass comment about the price, which we'll talk about in a minute. But like we've been saying this since Game Pass came out. Like when you go the Game Pass model, I think this is the reason that PlayStation isn't following. This is how that works. You have to open up. That's why they're doing mobile. That's why they're doing PC. That's why they're doing cloud. It's not sustainable only in a console space. It never was. That's why I'm constantly, if you guys hear it in my voice every time we read one of these stories, this is why I'm constantly shocked every time Microsoft buys somebody or says they're making a mobile thing or doing a browser, and everybody's like, oh my God, they're doing this. Like, of course they're doing this. This is their model.
Get that Game Pass everywhere, man.
Yeah, this is the model. That's how it works. This is it. Hopefully people catch on.
We put everybody out of business and make everybody subscribe to Game Pass.
I just want people to catch on so we can stop being like, hey, they're making a streaming device. Of course they are. Hey, they're going to buy a mobile studio. Yeah.
Of course they are. Duh.
Of course they are. They're looking for a Japanese, the thing this week, they're looking for a Japanese live service game. Yeah.
It's the same people who aren't paying attention to Gotham Knights and what the game is going to be. Just pay attention.
What was interesting from those stats also is that we went from 10 million that tried the cloud gaming beta to 20 million.
Yeah.
Pretty significant jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And then the one that's getting all the headlines, Phil pointed out that Xbox will need to increase the price for Game Pass at some point in the future, though he refrained from using any specifics. He went on to say, and I'm paraphrasing, that they just didn't feel like they wanted to increase any prices for services or hardware or anything with the uncertain financial times. So yeah, all the headlines are Game Pass is going to go up. Yeah.
But not right now. We're going to hold through the holiday season because we appreciate you.
News,
but at some point.
But I also feel like, I guess we haven't had, like, nobody's bought anybody. Nobody's fired anybody. Like, we've been on a run with gaming news for the last 6 months. Right? Yeah. We didn't have any of that this week. So this is the news now. Game Pass is going to have a rise in price one day. Yeah. So did Netflix.
Yeah. No surprises.
Amazon and everything else in the world. Like, that's how
that works.
Like YouTube Premium just go up, and Disney Plus is about to go up and get like a commercial tier, and this is what happens. It's not news.
That's the news. Like I said, we get in and out really quickly. So let's move on to Gold Coin Presents.
You got your rude days. You want your rude days. You got your motherfucking rude days. You want your rude days. You got your rude days. You want your rude days. You got your rude days. Rude Days 93. Chicka, chicka, chicka.
Presented by our very own gold coin. Good stuff.
Still good.
Our Rude Days 93 segment. What are you more excited for? He writes Castillo Protocol. Callisto Protocol or the Dead Space remake?
I'm going to say Callisto.
Yeah, Callisto Protocol.
Don't know. I almost want to say Dead Space because that
I'm being
game
honest
was
with
just
myself.
so damn good.
I don't know anything about Callisto. It looked good in the demos that we've seen, right? But I don't know it. I love Dead Space. I know that. So
It just looks like Dead Space. Like Callisto Protocol, it just looks like Dead Space.
But it's a different Dead Space. It's Dead Spaces.
Oh,
I'm
God.
getting threatened.
She got a whole new name and everything.
Dropping some bars.
Didn't expect this.
Yeah, I'm more excited for the Dead Space remake. But I mean, I'm getting them both. I'm excited for Callisto. I've already pre-ordered Callisto.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I think my expectations are higher for Dead Space, knowing the studio, the company, the publisher, the pedigree behind it. Is maybe the
Let me add this caveat. Which one you think will review better?
I'm worried that Callisto might be coming in hot.
Look, I need Callisto to come out gangbusters and be a 9.
That'd be great.
All right?
That'd be great.
I need that for Fantasy Critic. All right. I need Callisto to be on point.
I want
Let's
to just
go.
because I've ordered. I want to
Now
be great.
I need Callisto
That would be great.
to be a 7.9.
I'm just a little. I am slightly concerned. That it's.
It doesn't seem like it feels rushed. Like they went gold. It
keep
did
talking
to
about
me.
crunch and all that with him. That's like the internet.
I didn't read any of that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I saw a video of like their death animations. They look great.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It looks super good.
Crunch
I'm excited for it.
Crunch doesn't bother me as much as the general gaming Twitter sphere does. Only if like there's a pot of gold on the other side for the people that are crunching. If they're like, hey, we got to beat Dead Space so we can make all of our money so you can get that big bonus, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's great. Now, if you're crunching at their expense by giving them pizza parties and shit, then you can fuck off. But if if their success is tied to the crunch and they're willing to do it, then I'm all for it. To me, that's not crunch. That's like, making your own future. This country was built off of people that did that. So.
Well, it was built off something else, but I'm not. I am staying quiet.
Go listen to the talk experience this past week if you didn't catch it, where Brother Malcolm definitely got on this pulpit. I'm surprised we're friends. I don't even know. Like, I might have to worry. He might stab me in the back. I don't know. I may not just.
Why would I stab you in the back?
I don't know. I heard a lot of things. I heard a lot of things. I'm just worried. This is both our buy and sell and our rumor segment. Odds Last of Us multiplayer is both free to play and launches on PC day one. This is the hot rumor going around that people have supposedly through a job description found out the factions is being free to play.
Ooh. I don't know.
It would behoove. Go ahead.
I want to say 60. I'm gonna say 60% free to play.
Okay.
And because the reason why I'm kind of tepid on it because Sony been doing some weird things. They be like, "Hey, we know you think this should be cheaper, but now, son, you gonna pay the premium price for it." And that's what kind of worries me. Like, we got a deal for you. I can 100% see them saying,
"Hey,
this is $50.
If it's $200, we know Dev will be there."
Look here, fucker. First of all, I'm not playing this game regardless. Free or not free. I have zero interest in the Last of Us multiplayer. No, I will not.
So rich.
What worried me is didn't they say there was a story mode in this?
Yeah.
In the faction thing?
They said that there's a story. Oh, a story mode, but they said there's a story.
That's what makes me believe they may charge you for this.
I feel like that's a bad move. I feel like it should be free to play. It should also
think it's a
launch
bad
on
move they're
PC
making.
day one, but I don't think that it will launch on PC day one because they also didn't do the Uncharted. The Uncharted port was done by a different company. Like if it was them that did the Uncharted port, then they have some working on PC. Then I can see Last of Us coming.
I think this might be them
coming.
working on PC. I think they're going to ship this on PC day one. I think
so?
it's from them. I don't think it's a port.
I don't think it's a port either. I'm just saying since it's like their first,
not a second
port.
studio. I think this is from Naughty
Yeah, I do too. What I'm saying is I don't think that this will be PC day one since it's their first PC game.
I do.
Naughty Dog.
I think it's day one. It behooves them to make it free to play. I think there's a path here where they can do both. They can have a free to play option. They can have a bundle that you can buy that comes with a bunch of stuff that you can then get. So they can sell you. So I think they could do a little bit of both here. But I'm buying that it's free to play. I think that would be smart. I've been worried. I honestly thought that Sony would try to release this with like Last of Us 2 or something and try to make a collection or something out of it.
They still might. I wouldn't shock me at all.
But
yeah,
I don't think that's a. I think that's a bad PR move. Honestly, it should.
Hey,
you think they care about that?
Everything Sony does is a bad PR move. They are great at that.
Yeah.
Considering the landscape right now, I think they need to really think about that.
Yeah, they could use a win. They could use a nice, good win here. And yeah, I think free to play would be good. I think the difference being it's a live service game, so you want to give that game its best chance for success right out of the gate, because otherwise you risk it falling off. So holding it back and doing any weird thing that's going to keep people out, that doesn't help a game that's meant to be live service. So make it free to play. Yeah. And that's it, Dev. It's the end of the news.
Woohoo! Let's get into these questions. Okay, starting off with a doozy here. Hobik wants to know, it says handheld gaming experts, that'd be Delvin and Donnie. You're tasked to design a new portable gaming device.
Hang on. Let's interrupt this. We need to interrupt this scheduled program for an important message. How's that dock treating you?
Oh, I used it. I used a little bit of this week.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Yes, and it was alright. It wasn't amazing. I could see myself using it if I go out of town and want to use.
Oh my god!
Use it on the hotel TV.
God, if I go out of
it
town.
was trash, why would you want to take trash to the hotel?
Because maybe I want to sit in my bed and play the game. Have you ever thought about that?
You can do that with it in your hands. It still works.
I don't want to be. No,
now you gotta bring a controller.
Well, that's not
hard. At that point, why don't you just bring your console?
Right,
you didn't bring in the Steam Deck, a dock, and a controller. Just bring the damn console.
No way. You see how big my consoles are?
Bring a Switch.
Big consoles now. Nah, son. Fuck that. That's what.
I mean, we could tell him to bring a laptop, but he still can't figure out that's portable.
The answer is laptop.
No, my laptop is heavy.
So badly
my Steam Deck is way lighter than
your
my
laptop is heavy, so you've got a Steam Deck, a dock, and a controller. I'm sure that weighs about the same.
No, it doesn't. The dock weighs like not even a pound. The dock is really small. It's more like a
part of the problem.
Delvin, I still don't know why you have a Steam Deck. I really don't.
None of us do.
Whoa. How y'all judging me? How I spend my goddamn?
There's no judgment. It's not judgment. We just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
Even know you. He's like, what are you doing?
Buy what I want to buy with my goddamn cash.
I think Ashes is right. I think you should just go buy a G Cloud. I think that's the answer.
I don't want that. No, you buy a goddamn G Cloud.
I did.
And we're reaping the benefit.
I want my Steam Deck, which I love. I'm gonna buy some goddamn games as soon as I get this podcast.
Our Discord, he was like, Donnie, how does Pornhub run on your G Cloud? I was like, how's it running your Steam Deck? Like, it doesn't.
I don't go on those type of sites, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Can I just very quickly? I know this is going off of like what we were doing here for just a second. There are so many. I've again, a friend of mine has one. I've encountered it. There are games that do not run well on it. There are so like there's a
not just games. There's lots of games. Like half of Steam doesn't run well.
Yeah, but hold on.
That's the first part.
There is a story that's not being told about that device that I am very interested of why no one is, and it's the amount of RMAs that is happening with that device. If you go look on YouTube, go look on social media, they are being sent back in left and right.
So what an RMA is.
I'm
OPP?
sorry.
Other people's property? There you go.
No, yeah. I know what an RMA is, but can you explain it for what Delvin? He doesn't know what an RMA is.
Don't try to make it sound like you explain it to me. But if you want to explain it to me, explain it to me.
I know what
an RMA is. A return.
Yeah, so basically when you're returning the device if it's broken.
Yeah, it's for the listeners. If you let them know. Delvin knows what it is, but return to manufacturer.
Yeah, so like there's been a lot of that going on with the device. And Donnie's made this point before very well, I think, that like for cloud and other services, you have to do all of these crazy workarounds. I'm just not. No, that's not for me. It's
great. I love the Steam Deck. I do, but for that purpose,
it's not for what I'm trying to get at. It's not a device for the casual audience. That's what I'm trying to say. That's it.
Definitely is not.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if Delvin is the casual audience, or the hardcore. I don't know what he is when it comes to the Steam Deck and PC. He's
an enigma. That's what I am.
That's very true. Okay, George. I watched a video detailing your dock this past weekend, which I learned some things about it.
It runs at 380p. That is correct.
It's trash. I'm sure they'll fix it at some point because Steam is really good at that.
Wait, it runs at what resolution?
real bad.
That shit look like it at 380p.
If you turn
380p and like 12 frames per second.
Here's the thing: the Steam Deck with the dock out
how are we in 2022 and this is the state of this?
He's exaggerating. He's exaggerating. It's not that bad.
I'm exaggerating. It looks bad though.
It's because he put on a 4K TV. If you'd have put on like a monitor, it'd have been fine.
4K TV.
Yeah,
that's what. No, not. But still, the Steam Deck is.
There's no power. There's no power in the Steam in the dock. It's literally just sending the signal to the TV. So now the Steam Deck is trying to output the resolution it's not meant to
I'm saying though you should optimize for that if you're having a device that's designed to do that.
Let me learn you some about their optimization. So what I learned from the video review about the Steam Deck dock is that while the dock can be set to output and the device can be set to output at a certain resolution to match your monitor, which should never be hooked up to a 4K television, Delvin. Because it just
not son, fuck that.
Okay, well enjoy your 4 frames a second. I literally watched a Steam Deck like crash trying to go to 4K. The problem with the dock is that every game has its own internal resolution that you can set and monitor, and if they don't match, you're totally fucked. And that's a problem. Correct. When every time you try to boot a game, you've got to reconfigure your video settings because you're trying to play on the dock. Or point your dock at a different resolution. They don't automatically match and sync like the Switch does, for example. When you put your Switch in the dock, it goes, this is the resolution of the TV. This is the resolution we're sending. The Steam Deck doesn't. You put the Steam Deck in the dock, and the dock is like, we want 1080p, and the Steam Deck's like, here comes 800, baby. We got 640 for you. It's coming. And like all the menus and shit stops working, the controls don't work.
Yeah. Calling this a dock was a little bit of a stretch. It's more like a charging base for your Steam that just happens to work in the dock. That's literally
no. It's an HDMI cable. It's basically what it is.
No. But hold on. Does the dock have HDMI out? It does, right? So it was designed to do connection. I'm not. No, that's not my point. My point is, if you add that to a dock, the intent is that you can send the signal to the TV, and then it should do all of the things that the Switch does, right?
No, I mean, that would require the dock to have some internal smarts. It doesn't have any of that. It's it's a dumb device. It's just a dumb device.
I don't get it.
I'm making jokes, but Delvin, to give you some hope, I've already seen some folks on Reddit that run like their own kernel on the Steam Deck, and they've already found a fix that like matches whatever you're sending.
How does that help Delvin?
I'm sure Valve would be not that far behind with a patch.
Garrett Bland. I can just call him.
Yeah.
Put the B signal there.
I hear you two are happy together.
Yes.
Just
steaming it up. He's all I got.
This is Newman.
I'm still just confused how we're in 2022. How we're in 2022 and a company releases something that goes along with the device and it's not already optimized at launch. How?
Yeah,
easy. That just did.
No, I'll tell you how. The answer to how is I don't think they really wanted to the Steam Deck wasn't built to dock. Like that wasn't.
It wasn't.
It's not like they're giving you the option. They're giving you a tool to let you, but they kind of don't. I think they kind of don't want you to. They really don't want you to dock it. That's not its intended.
You're like, we're gonna give you this option, but we really shouldn't.
And the best thing about the dock that I have found is that you can just plug it into your PC where you can then use your keyboard and mouse and shit without having to put a dongle in the Steam Deck and all. That's probably the best benefit from the dock actually, is that now you can navigate all of Linux and shit with a keyboard and a mouse and it not be a pain in the ass.
And put it up to a 1080p monitor.
Exactly.
Put on a 1080p monitor.
Do that and you're great. Yeah, it's fantastic. If you got a 1080p monitor, you're good. And if you're literally trying to put that thing on your damn living room TV like Delvin, you're gonna have problems. It's gonna be bad. You're not gonna have a good time. Yeah.
I just heard so many people say that with the dock, it was going to be now this all-in-one encompassing console, and that's why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, it's not.
That wasn't my expectation at all.
It's not great. It's not.
I'm an idiot, and I didn't even think that.
It's not great in a way that it's really not. It's not any better than a USB-C HDMI adapter.
Okay,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. How much did you pay for that?
Pretty much. I think it was like $70, something like that.
Yeah, you could have
what?
You could have got a USB-C HDMI adapter on Amazon for like $15.
I don't remember how much it was. I had Steam money. I just put it on.
That's my point. You see where I'm going with this? Like the price you're being charged, the fact that it doesn't do what the impression is that it's supposed to do.
I bet that dock is pure overhead for them. Like all the things they're eating on
the dock cost them $2 to make.
Yeah. All the money they're losing,
Delvin $70,
trying to get all that back.
Something like that, yeah.
Good Lord.
Let me see.
So anyway, back to the question. You guys are going to design a portable gaming device. The goal of this design is to include a collection of features that will be tempting enough that I would decide to ditch my desk and embrace the portable gaming lifestyle.
That's not happening.
I got to tell you, I don't see it happening.
Exercise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's
You just get the nerdiest shit you could put
he's still
in a handheld and just fill it up, and he still would not do it.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Like, I'm going to take my Stadia refund
desktop and play it
and get me a G unit, but I'm not getting rid of my desktop.
Now we're talking.
I'm still going to play here. This is where I want to be.
On my desktop and play solitaire.
Handheld devices to me have always been a companion device.
You play solitaire. Spider solitaire.
Look, I did play solitaire way back in the day in high school.
Yeah, like last week
in PC class. Like,
if I could create my own portable, though, it would be the G unit made by Apple with their best processor in it.
Why?
I would buy the hell out of it. Because I
automatically spurn that device because it's Apple.
I know.
Fuck that.
And I'm not an Apple person either. You know that about me.
I like Apple.
But the reason that I would like to see that is I think if Apple was to partake in an actual hardware, I think the hardware would be really good. They could even work with somebody, like a partner on it. Like the screen and everything. You see like their design for iPads and stuff, like you could see what an Apple portable handheld would look like. I think build quality would be excellent. Their iOS store has all of the features. Oh, it's definitely going to be expensive.
Thousands of dollars here.
The iOS store would have everything the Android has and more. Plus, you would get the benefits of Apple Arcade and the benefits of GeForce Now and the benefits of It's just all of these things, but probably better.
You sure Apple's going to let you buy anything else for their device? They're going to lock you out. No. You got to buy everything through the iOS store.
Everything got to be Apple.
You can do that now. All the stuff you can do now on this device, you can do on an iPad right now. There's nothing that's not available. You can GeForce on there. I think that's available.
Only
you can Xbox. You can Game Pass over there. It's it's available. And I think Apple Arcade is forgotten and not thought of enough. Apple Arcade's pretty fucking awesome. They have a lot of great indie games. They have a lot of great games that they get first, that they get exclusive. I think it's definitely like bang for its buck. So it would just be it'd be a neat, I think in a perfect world, you would love to see them partner with like a Nintendo and bring a lot of that together. That would be a killer, offer. And then it was in the chat. Asha says a highly powered Switch. Like any Switch with more power than what we have would be welcomed.
Or just let Nintendo just let us put Game Pass on there and let us put other things like
that's not happening.
I know.
Can we do that with a better Switch? Because the Switch is kind of trash.
Better Switch would be great. I was telling Sean on Swings, like I'm
better power.
Even playing it now, like I don't want to. I'm like begrudgingly playing. I feel like I'm being forced against my will to play it. Like for as much fun as I'm having with Rabbids, I'm like, but I don't
wish it was on Steam.
Yeah. And like you fast forward to like Zelda, I really don't want to play Zelda on Switch. Like I want to play Zelda better than that. I really hope they announce a new Switch by then.
Zelda deserves better.
It does.
Okay.
Like it deserves better. I don't want to play Breath of the Wild on my Switch. I would rather have a better Switch for just that. But the sequel, I really hope they release a new Switch by then. I don't care if it's not even out by then. If they're like, hey, here's Breath of the Wild 2, and we have a new Switch coming out next November, I'm probably waiting to play Breath of the Wild 2 until November.
You almost have to think that there will be one with all these handhelds coming into the market, right? There has to be some movement there from them.
And with Nintendo, especially when they're high, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I know they don't, but
the Nintendo games still only come to Nintendo, so
like
they're not
Kirby,
like
Advance Wars. They don't.
The other handhelds really aren't competing with Nintendo because that's still the only place you're playing Mario, Kirby, Zelda.
Logitech would be
Pokemon.
Super happy if they could move 5 million units.
Yeah,
Nintendo plays in hundreds of millions units. Not comparable.
No. I didn't mean it from that perspective. But
I know. I just mean like that's why they're not. They don't care what other handhelds are coming because they're not big enough to care. They're not big enough for them to care about.
What I'm getting at though is that there is an appetite though. I mean, I own a Switch.
Yeah. The Steam Deck
I would like to see them offer us more options. And also to Dev's point, you offer me games at 60 frames. That's I would be happy.
Really all I want. I know everybody is on this 4K bandwagon. I don't want a 4K Switch at all.
4K.
I want a
60 frames.
7-inch 1080p screen that has a processor that can run Switch games at 60 frames a second, and I am here for it. $500 day one. Sounds great. Let's do it, Nintendo.
Nintendo style of games are great. They don't need to be in 4K. We just need them to perform well. Like we need the games to not chug and jump. Like just perform well. God.
Yeah, that's what I've always wanted is just a better frame rate for certain games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's not, and that's the thing. It's not all their games, and it's honestly, it's not most of Nintendo games. That's the other reason. The reason they're not so like hot to trot to release a new thing. Their games are great. Mario Rabbids runs really well. Like little framing here and there, but like for the most part, it's fine. It's their partners that are really suffering. People are trying to bring Saints Row and shit to Switch. They're like, guys, you're killing us.
Like why?
Nintendo's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Games run great.
Works fine for us.
Animal Crossing's fantastic.
Zelda runs great. Metroid runs great.
And I also think, you guys know how I feel about this. Nintendo just doesn't care about performance.
Nope.
Most devs don't, but Nintendo really doesn't. Like their long history of not doing any anti-aliasing and all that shit, they don't care. They're like, it's fine. It's like it's running 18 frames.
Does the game boot up? Fine. You can play it, yeah. Oh, it's framing? Good. Yeah, who cares? Yeah,
it's not that big of a deal.
It's running, right? Yeah. Okay, we're good then.
Yeah.
Next question comes from TPR. He says, what's your favorite screwing around shenanigans that you've done in GTA or any other open world sandbox for that matter?
I love collecting cars and building out a garage. I had a really fun time doing that in GTA 5, just driving around listening to music. Back in the old ones, I think me and my cousin, we used to do the same thing everybody used to do. You just try to run up your stars as long as you could, see how much chaos you can happen. I remember doing that in GTA 3 and Vice City and stuff.
Yep.
But I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it was. It's fun back in the day.
Yeah. I think I did that a little bit in GTA 4, find an alleyway and just start murdering everyone.
The amount of time I spent in GTA 5 just driving around, finding cars, customizing them, painting them and everything, and then parking them in the garage and going and doing it again. It's ridiculous.
I never did that.
Yeah. I don't think many people did. But yeah,
I think I had just Franklin's car. That car. I loved his like fake ass Challenger or Charger. Yeah. It was great.
Yep.
Delvin or Chase?
I'm trying to think.
Shenanigans.
Chase doesn't like open world games.
I'm trying to think what open world shenanigans.
Duly noted. That's gonna be the title of the episode.
Except plays all the battle royales. They're like all open world games.
No, I played Vice City and yeah, chaos.
You put Vice City on your.
It was great.
On the
chaos.
Put Vice City on cloud deck.
Hold on, there's too much talking. Say that again.
Did you put Vice City on your cloud deck?
No, but I would like to. Yes.
Yeah, you can freely buy it. It's on the App Store. It's like $5.
It's
I got GTA 3, San Andreas, Vice City, Liberty City Stories. I got all of them.
Oh wow.
Max Payne on mobile is good.
Oh
man, Max Payne 3. Gotta love that game.
It's great. That's good. Yeah.
Dean Calkins wants to know: is the Steam Deck worth it?
To me, it is. I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah, it's like you don't. Delvin.
You don't count.
I don't count.
You don't count.
I'm having a blast with my Steam Deck. I'm buying games and giving them.
You're having a blast buying games. You're not having fun playing the Steam Deck. You're having fun buying games
and playing the games.
So the question is it worth it? So
yes,
it depends. It depends on your situation. Like, I mean, if you want to play games natively and you understand that not every single game on the Steam Deck is verified or certified or whatever they call it.
Playable. Yeah, they're either playable or verified.
Or not playable.
Or not compatible. Yeah. If they're playable, they kind of work.
Nobody knows.
You're if they're verified, they're guaranteed to work.
Yes. They're verified, they're great.
And sometimes they have the little cross like we don't play, but sometimes they play good. Just a little food for thought.
Most of the time the playable games play poorly.
Yeah, it depends on the game.
They're not great.
So the answer is no.
No, the answer is yes. Get the fuck
You're having fun buying games.
I'm playing games and enjoying games on the Steam.
It's opening
me up to a whole new world of games.
Each other 25 games.
Oh my God. If y'all could see our DMs with these fools going back and forth buying games. Jesus Christ. It is ridiculous. Here's 37 games. Who knows what they are?
I can't be owing him favors. Right?
Yeah.
So if he's like, here's the code, I gotta get another code.
And that's how you
he's
have
like,
to go.
Here's 2 codes, and I'm like, here's 4 codes. He's like, here's 6, here's 12 codes. Yeah, how do you want to take this?
Yeah, that's how we do it.
It is ridiculous.
We're playing chicken.
God. So here's an interesting.
I think the Steam Deck is worth it.
I do too. It's
really
great.
Good. It's. I was just expecting for all of its power, the performance to be a little better. So. I think I would be more interested in like an improved Steam Deck.
Yeah, I agree.
There are some games that can hit 60, but there's not as many as you think.
So we need a better Steam Deck. We need a better Switch.
I will also say this: I have the 64 gig, and you can have an SD card and it works. Just get an SD card with high speed, and it works just fine. It works really good.
My biggest issue with
this is also somebody who plugs his Steam Deck into a television. So
that's true. My biggest issue with the Steam Deck was how, navigating all the non-Steam stuff. Yeah, especially when mine wiped my SD card and I didn't have Jeff to rely on. I was fucking lost. I was watching it and then people are trying to tell me to go get this damn hack app that they put on the Linux store, and I was like,
That's why I said it depends on your situation, because like if you're someone that just wants to like we were talking about with the G Cloud earlier, you just want to log in. It's a
Honestly, just getting Game Pass. Like the steps you have to go through to get the browser on, to get the icon on, to get the thing booted, that you can then boot it from your Steam OS is such a hassle. The hassle alone, I was like, it's not worth it.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. I just want something to work out. Like when you get it, it works. It's ready to go.
That's what I told Sean this weekend. The difference between this and the Steam Deck is when I opened this on, I turned it on, the Xbox app was in front of me. I clicked it. I put in my username and password and it worked. It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's just a massive difference. And that's without even talking emulation and stuff. And I just think, like the Linux and thing is just the wild, wild west. Those aren't native supports. They're things that are being like kind of made to work in a hobbyist kind of space, right? Android this is real support. My apps get real support. They get updated. My emulators work. I can count on them to work because I got millions of people using them. So for me, I just think it's more consumer friendly. But if you're into that, like for somebody like Garrett or Dev, man, they tear a Steam Deck up and sit in there, rip all that shit apart.
Yeah. It's just not for me. That's what I was trying to clarify. Is if you're like a casual,
Garrett's going to do wild shit with the Steam Deck whenever he gets one. You know, he's have custom boots and custom UI and shit. Like it's going to be dope. I'm excited to see Garrett's Steam Deck. It's going to be great. I just never going to do it. That's why I send my shit to him. That's why he
give you an idea.
mods my Vita.
If you're a casual gamer and you have a Steam Deck, you'll be just fine. Because all you're doing is just if you stay on the store and just buy what's on the Steam Deck store, you're not going to even notice half of the shit. Because it basically tells you.
I don't know about that. I've seen.
Didn't you have that problem with like the Arkham games? You bought them on Steam and they didn't quite work.
No. I did not buy them on Steam. That was the problem. I bought them on. I think it was Fanatical. It wasn't on Steam. And what it's called told me that this works on Steam. If I remember correctly, it was cheap ass game. We're like, this works on Steam Deck. And it doesn't work. You have to do the what is called thing to get it to work on Steam Deck.
See, that's what I'm getting at. I don't want to make this like a long-winded speech on this, but the amount of statements that are out there of like this device is great, it works flawlessly. Like there's a lot of things that you have to do, or that if you don't know, like Donnie was saying, you will be lost. So it's not one of those devices where you can just take it out of the box, put your username, put your password, and you're good to go.
If you're in the Steam ecosystem, you can.
That's my point. If you stay inside that ecosystem,
and you stay on that verified, you only play verified content, it's a fine Steam console-like experience.
But that's not always the case. That's my point.
Yeah. If you start going outside the lines and like, hey, I don't want to buy games on the Steam site, I want to buy other places, that's when you may start having problems.
Or a lot of people that aren't into Steam, and I think there's some of that too. Not everybody just has Steam as a platform. There might be a lot of people that aren't into Steam that like Delvin or getting one because they want to get into Steam, and then they don't realize that a lot of games require other launchers. They don't launch in Steam. Like you can buy an EA game in Steam, but you still have to launch the EA launcher. Right? You can buy, Cyberpunk, you still got to, launch the launcher, or Ubisoft games launch the launcher.
Yes.
And if you don't know how to do that, you have a lot of problems in Steam Deck.
And that's why the G unit is awesome. GeForce Now, good to go.
Dude, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I booted it up just to try it. Dude, flawless. This is incredible. All my Ubisoft games just right there. I'm not even paying for it. Just for free. They're like, here you go.
Here you go. Enjoy.
It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
It is.
No wonder the 4090s cost so much.
They make so much money from them. They can just go ahead and give you this. They make so much money from their graphics cards. It's like, here you go.
Hold on. Just be careful with the 4090s. Did you see the videos of the connectors catching on fire?
Oh yeah.
Has anybody looked into those? I haven't. No. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
there were
it is a thing.
Lighting on fire too, right? And then we found it was like one.
Oh no, this is actually widespread. Okay. It's the new Intel connector that it's dumb. It's unnecessary. That's the other part. This connector is completely unnecessary.
You buy a PC
get there. Well, I'm not looking at it.
On fire.
Yeah,
Like you turn it on, it just like busts
If
into
that
flames.
would happen to me,
Dev, didn't somebody's power supply like ignite? I thought I heard that too.
It
And I
doesn't
was like, wait,
surprise
what?
me, man. You're buying a Series S and
I
then
didn't
putting
hear
it in
that.
a little locked box.
yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like
But
a
it's-
smart idea.
It's not even the card. It's just literally the way the connector is. And
Yeah.
if you bend the cable at all, it doesn't connect right to that extra little 4 pins at the bottom, and it can cause it to melt. The pins are fine, the cards are fine. It just melts the plastic because it gets so hot.
Nah, son.
It's unnecessary. Like
That's why
the connectors we've had on graphics cards for the last 10 years are totally fine. We do not need this new connector.
All it would take
at
is
all.
one day. And Dev, this shit smoking. The fuck am I gonna do? Why you make me buy this shit? That's all you
Totally.
hear.
I totally can see Delvin. He's sitting down. We've got him to do all the things. He presses the button, fucking flame pops.
He runs out the house, closes the door, locks it, puts a chair behind it. His kids can't get out.
Yeah, they fuck.
Wow.
I miss
All
them.
right. Next question. This is an interesting one from Ed. He says, "Do you feel that the Nintendo Switch is making PlayStation look bad when it comes to content of game releases in their respective libraries, and then more people ask for Switch game recommendations than PS when they buy both consoles?"
What
that a
the
thing?
hell is he talking about?
Is that a thing?
I don't know what
I
he's talking
don't
about.
think so.
I
I don't think it is.
I'm not familiar with this.
That sounds like fake news.
Yeah. So I
have
don't
never
think
heard
so.
that.
Does the Nintendo library
think-
make the PlayStation library look bad?
I think
People
Nintendo's
looking for
making-
Switch recommendations?
I think Nintendo is making the other publishers look bad, at least this past year.
Yeah, you can say
They
that.
just keep releasing games like everybody else. Like we got one or two, or we're raising the console prices, and Nintendo's just like,
I
nope,
guess from that perspective.
here's another
yeah.
one. Here's another one. Here's Fire Emblem.
I have
Kirby,
no idea what
Advance
they've
Wars,
released because I don't
They
pay
released
attention
a lot
to
of stuff
Nintendo.
this year.
Pokemon.
Advance Wars,
Mario
that didn't come out yet,
Rabbids.
did it?
No, not
It
yet.
will eventually.
But you know,
They
they
released
just
a lot of stuff this year.
they have
They
because
have.
they had a pretty light couple years during COVID.
I was gonna say,
It
yeah.
wasn't-
Didn't they have
it
a bunch
wasn't
of light
crazy.
years
It
previous?
wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't like Xbox or PlayStation light. Like Xbox is having a light year, right? It was never like that. They were releasing games. They just weren't releasing Bayonettas and Metroids.
Yeah.
And, like they weren't releasing
It was
those.
like-
Well, they did release a Metroid game, but not like the Zeldas and the Marios and stuff. You know, they're releasing
Was
Clubhouse
Metroid
games.
this year?
No, it was last year.
No, that was last year.
Okay.
But this year, now like we've got Mario showing up, and we've got Bayonetta showing up, and we've got a couple of Kirby games. You know, like their first party is getting back out there a little bit more. So
So
Yeah,
they've
you got the-
basically been able to pack it where, like, PlayStation has had Tilu, which is a remake, Horizon, and God of War.
Yeah.
That's really it.
great year.
Feel like-
Yeah, it's a great year.
People are
though.
like, that's it. It's a great year.
great.
That's three
That's
really
great.
good games, man. Yeah. But Nintendo has
And then
like
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core too.
Nintendo has like 15
Yeah.
games. They got a lot of games.
So if they're asking it from a quantity standpoint, I guess then yeah.
That's what I thought
Yeah, that makes
when he
sense.
says releases in their respective libraries. I don't know about recommendations because, I mean, Nintendo is the hotness. I mean, PlayStation's the hotness. They make the best games in the world right now. I can't imagine anybody being like, you really got to play Mario and Rabbids and not Horizon or God of War this year. I can't imagine that being a thing. Like, I think the most anticipated game of the year is God of War. You know?
Yeah.
So,
I can't wait. Very excited.
and it's earned. Their games are great. I love
Yeah.
PlayStation games. I just don't like PlayStation company right now. You know?
Yeah. They're pretty crappy.
That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing about it is like I don't want to like them because I don't think they like me much. They're just not. It's not like a real happy company. To
They like your money.
wanna
That's
like
all
right
they
now.
care
It's
about.
like-
Yeah, they've definitely reverted to PS3 era Sony, and it's just like, ugh,
Yeah,
you guys.
and that actually that does impact like my purchasing decisions with them. Like I'm still getting God of War. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not getting like all
Are
the
you?
things that I would usually get.
Are you?
Pretty pre-order.
No, you pre-ordered it. I thought Haley Pass.
I sent my money to Haley for Haley Pass.
Ah, I got you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not just living off of Haley.
Yeah.
I'm making this happen. I'm
I
carrying
like to- carried his
Just play
load.
Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
Just so you can see how bad it is.
Absolutely.
It's like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It's real bad. It's real bad, but it might be good.
It's like I'm not getting that controller. There's a lot of things PlayStation do, and I'm not getting any of that shit.
You were never getting any of that shit, though. That's
Plus
the
and
thing.
the tiers. No, I had Plus for years. I bought all kinds of PlayStation games. That's the thing. When I really liked what they were doing and liked them, I bought all their shit.
Yeah,
It's now I don't. That is true. I had as many DualShocks as you did. I saw your picture.
I don't think he has as many as I did.
Mm-hmm.
I've had quite a few. I've
Okay.
had quite a few.
Okay.
You were out
I'm
there
gonna let you
buying
have
Xbox controllers.
I'm gonna let you
Just
have
saying.
it.
I
Your
will.
next spot. It's cool.
You can't go toe to toe with me on controllers. You don't stand a fucking chance. I have like 40
Xbox
controllers in this room alone.
40 Xbox controllers.
No,
we're talking
not
about
all.
we're talking about PlayStation here, okay? PlayStation. You don't even like PlayStation. Not even have one. Sell it. Get rid of it. You don't deserve it.
Alone. Come on, man.
Yeah, nobody. I'm not talking about Nintendo. I don't care about Nintendo.
I got these
Nintendo
today.
can
I
kick
can grab all
rocks.
kinds of stuff.
Kick rocks.
Get with it.
Wow.
Get with the program.
So
Controller game,
Sony,
not on my level.
having been in the Sony ecosystem for years, I feel like they're going in the wrong direction.
Oh, they're going in the right direction, profit wise.
No,
Yeah.
no.
They're making money.
As a business, they're doing what they're doing. I'm talking about it for me as a consumer.
Yeah, that's fair. I think a lot of people feel that way. I think a
I've
lot of
said that.
PlayStation fans don't like that a lot of people feel that way.
Oh, I've
But I
said that.
think
going
it's
in the wrong
fair
direction.
to feel that way. I think that's
I mean, consider this.
Yeah.
it should be the
absolutely.
natural feeling right now based off of the actions that Sony has taken.
I walked
Absolutely,
away.
100%.
Right.
I walked away from Microsoft in the 360 era because of all the red rings of death, and then dealing with their
A lot of
what I
people did.
considered to be horrible customer service at the time, right?
Oh, really?
And then, I did not have a great experience with them.
Oh, they fixed
Interesting.
every red ring that I've ever heard of. If you called them, they'd fix Shin.
Yeah.
They fixed it, but it was a pain. It was not
Really?
Yes, I'm telling you, Donnie.
I'm not
wasn't
saying you're
bad.
lying. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, in all of my many years,
This is the
at
first.
time I used to work at GameStop, so I'm talking. I've seen hundreds of 360 returns, and
Same.
that is the first time I've ever been told that.
So I had, I think, 4 in total, and the last
I only turned in one, but when I turned in the one that I had, they sent me the box. They're like, "Yeah, we'll get a box out to you. Put it in there. We'll send you another one."
Yeah, so the last 2 they made me pay for shipping. So it was not fun. I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with y'all. But the point I'm trying to make is this generation, they offer a $300 console. They offer Game Pass. Shout out to you, Donnie. And it was enough to make me go, the value proposition is here versus what I was seeing from the other offering.
Oh, Sony's not the value.
No,
Yeah,
but
they never
the
have
point
been.
is,
They never have been.
no. But the point is that's where I started with the conversation, right?
Sure.
Now look at where they're at. Now we're on top of that. I'm seeing
They
all
didn't
of
went
these.
the wrong. They went further.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
They can't-
That's my point. That's my
Chase
point.
was like, "This is a better value." Sony said, "We hear you, Chase." Now we're raising the price.
No, but just some of the things I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Like, I get it. You're a business.
Ashes.
You're trying to be a
This is what I'm
business.
talking about. Yeah, I got
They
prepaid
also
box.
can't afford to do what Microsoft does. They can't.
That's true too.
They cannot compete.
Yeah, first 2 were ashes, not the last 2 for me.
That's
First
true.
2 they paid
They
for.
can't just bankroll. I don't, and I mean
Yeah.
this in all the best ways. I don't mean this like a fanboy thing. I don't think they can compete on the Game Pass front. I think that's a part of Microsoft's strategy. I think that could possibly. Now, if they turned it off and it made it successful, maybe. But I think kind of what Microsoft is probably trying to do with the Game Pass area and kind of making it a thing is I think they think that might level the playing field, if not potentially push PlayStation out.
Yep, that's exactly my thought as well. Because
Yeah.
PlayStation just cannot compete in that realm at all.
They can't bankroll something like that for that long until it becomes
Mhm.
profitable.
Yep.
Or Microsoft can. And I think that's why you're seeing their adverseness to go there. They're trying these half measures to like, it's kind of there, right? Like you're kind of getting it. You kind of have some Game Pass over here. It's a thing, but they're never going to go. You're getting Naughty Dog's game day one on PlayStation Plus, for your subscription. because I think that would really hurt them in the bottom line.
It's what you said earlier, Donnie, is they do not want to get into spaces that they're not comfortable in, right? So console is where they do best. And Microsoft's like, I think you've said this before, like, this is the chess game that's being played. We're done. Like, we're not playing this game anymore.
Oh, the Xbox One, they flipped the goddamn table. They're like, we can't beat PlayStation like this. Like, we can't go toe-to-toe with these companies like this. We're the odd man out. So what they did is they changed the game.
They played the Bruce Wayne card.
And now everybody else can't compete with them in this space. I did not get it.
I did.
Well, but I mean, think about the reason I brought that up is with the mobile, right? Sony is not going to go into that space, but Microsoft's like, you know
said
what?
They're trying to get back into mobile, but they're not going to be. It's not going to be the same.
You know what I mean, though. Microsoft is
totally
trying to go in and literally compete with Android and iOS. Like,
yes,
they're going to create.
Because they have an OS, they can do that. Sony can't.
But that is why Sony is.
But Sony could, but they won't,
because it's like
they can't afford to.
The return on investment wouldn't be there for the.
But it's a mind share concern, because once that starts getting out to other areas of the globe, it's like, how do we compete then? How do we compete with that?
They just have all they can do is keep making amazing games, and they're going to have to charge what they charge for them. So that's the other thing. Like, as much as we don't like Sony's policies, they still make amazing games.
No, I know.
It puts PlayStation more in a space like Nintendo. And PlayStation has to lean into that or find a partner. The other thing is they could find a partner. But it pushes them more into that space, because I know gamers don't like hearing it when podcasters or influencers say it, especially like when other folks say it, but they're not competing like with PlayStation. They sell similar products and they sell similar games, but that's not the goal.
They're competing with
Xbox's
Amazon.
goal right now. Yeah, they're competing. They're thinking Amazon, Google, Netflix. They're not thinking PlayStation. Because what PlayStation is doing, even though they're very successful what they're doing is on a limited scale. And Microsoft has bigger eyes. That's why PC, that's why mobile, that's why cloud. That's where they're going.
Services.
It's Windows.
Hardware. Yeah.
It's Windows. It's the Windows model.
Office 365.
Yeah. That's always been the goal. That's been the goal from the start, from the start of the Phil Spencer Game Pass transition. That's what happened. When the Xbox One went the way it went, I think basically it came down to, it was, well, we either do it our way, the Microsoft way, or we're not going to do Xbox anymore.
Yep.
And this is what's come out of it.
A services company.
Yep.
Sony is a hardware company. They make hardware.
How do we turn this into a service?
Yep.
And that's what they're doing. And I think that's the reason why you're seeing. That's why I don't really fault PlayStation. I have it. I don't like the way. Like, if you're a fan of PlayStation, I don't think you can't like the way that it looks. I would almost rather PlayStation be a bit cockier about it, because I think they deserve it. But that's why you're seeing like almost the perceived desperation, or at least, extreme reactions to the Call of Duty deal, because they know that's the reason you're seeing it, is PlayStation sees it. They know what's happening. They know what Microsoft's trying to do. They're trying to stop it. Like, as long as possible, they're trying to hold that off. Because they like the things the way they are. But it's not going to be that way.
Nope.
All
right.
Be that way
Last question before we get out of here. Matthew wants to know, who do you play as in Mario Kart? He says, this will tell me more about you than any personality test ever could.
I wish he listed what that tells us. Maybe he can write us back and tell us what he thinks. I always play as Yosh.
Follow up.
I'm the Yosh.
I'm Toad. Always Toad.
Luigi. Give you that death stare, baby.
Luigi?
I love it. Yep.
Mean mug?
Mean mug. Turn back, look at you with the mean mug. Yeah.
You got to play Rabbids then, if you love that.
Sounds
I
like
love
Florida.
Luigi and Rabbids is S tier. He's great.
Yeah, I like it. Luigi's underappreciated. I love Luigi.
I mean, he had a whole year to himself. I don't know if he's underappreciated.
He did. Wasn't there a year of Luigi?
Yeah,
Mario had a whole life to himself.
It was disastrous for Nintendo. The year of Luigi is something they want to forget. It was the worst year of Nintendo.
Yeah.
All kinds of games delayed and sales sucked. Everything was awful. Everything was terrible. It was like a curse.
It seems fitting for Luigi to have that year.
It's like, you see what happens when you take Mario out of the limelight? This whole shit falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always main Yoshi in all Mario games. Mario Party, Mario Golf, Mario Kart.
I only play Mario Kart and it's just Toad. What about you, Chase? Do you have a main? You have a go-to?
Either Yoshi or most of the time Bowser, actually, now that I think about
Solid pick.
Who
do you guys main in Smash?
Little Mac at this point.
Little Mac's good. I love Little Mac.
Little Mac with the pink hoodie.
Sure.
Let's go.
I love the power.
Yeah.
That raw punching power is addictive, man. It's good stuff.
Ryu.
Okay.
Because I'm really good at Street Fighter.
A little weird. Street Fighter,
but it's not Street Fighter, so I just don't even.
Right. It's like it's Smash, not Street Fighter, but sure.
Yeah.
You're not.
I guess that makes sense.
That's
Why not?
Ryu.
Why not?
Ryu.
Why not Ken? I mean,
because I don't play with Ken. Ryu's my guy. You play with Ken.
I do play with Ken. I love Ken.
See?
You have a main, Chase?
Smash Brothers. Actually, yeah, Mega Man.
That's a good one.
I can't even remember Mega Man in Smash.
Or Sonic.
I think my son likes Sonic.
Frontiers.
Yeah, my son likes Sonic too.
I can't wait for Sonic Frontiers to come out.
It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good.
There are people I've been seeing.
Solid 7.
I've been seeing on Twitter that apparently previews are dropping and people are really liking it, and now people are claiming that Sega paid people off for positive.
What?
Every time.
The game just can't be good.
This is why I really am so tired of gaming journalism.
I'm with you. It's not just the professional side.
The internet.
Yes, it's like
just
the gaming Twitter sphere is a place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a place sometimes. And it wasn't just paid. There were a lot of people that are just like, I just can't believe, that the Sonic game is good.
It looked good to me the whole time.
Well, I feel that way. A lot of people did not. A lot of people thought
it looked terrible. Like, this looks good.
It looked a cool change of pace. Yeah. I know my son is really excited for it, so.
I haven't. So have they done any enhancements since what we last saw? That last kind of like little preview?
No.
It's about the same.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it didn't like make me go, I want to go buy this tomorrow, but I did. Okay.
Pre-ordered.
Apparently, there is some stuff that they have that people have played behind closed doors that they can't talk about yet. So there is some stuff that we have yet to see that we are not privy to.
Of course, but like on the marketing and stuff, they've been pretty tight-lipped about it. I think they want you to find it.
I mean, if they've enhanced it in any way, like maybe even just a little bit better with the graphics, might be a little bit.
We were watching the Switch trailer. Game looked
pretty good. The graphics looked amazing. It looked really nice.
They did do
crisp and bright
presentation, and it did not look great. Because it was running on Switch. But when I saw the Xbox and PC builds, game looks nice.
PC baby,
real nice.
When did that? So that I think maybe where I have not seen. When did that come out? How far after that original?
Oh, that was a while after that.
E3, August, June, something like that.
Okay, so I need to go back and take a look.
And they have shown some deeper dives, enemy designs.
They've shown a little gameplay.
Yeah, some gameplay. There's some stuff out there.
I've watched a couple of gameplay videos of it. Like I said, it looks good to me. Looks really
I hope
good.
it's great, and I can slowly watch everybody kind of like turn back my way.
Yeah, you've been tooting this one since the beginning, and I was with you. I was like, yeah, this one looks good.
Yeah, so, we're Mavericks on this one. The whole internet
pretty
wanted
much
to kill Sonic. They're like, shit looks dope. And you saw it too when the reporters got hands on at E3. How many of them were like, Sonic's good? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, we can just say we were right.
Yeah.
Like it.
You heard it here first. We were right. Sonic Frontiers, awesome.
I agree.
All right, well, that's going to do it from this episode of the Play Some Video Games podcast. We thank you guys for sticking around for another long episode. Apparently, this is just what we do here.
Yes.
Please feel free to follow us on.
Way to revolt.
Yeah, you guys in Discord said no, we won't stand for these short shows. We like them long, so we're just gonna keep doing what we do. So yeah, feel free to follow us on all our handles. I don't feel like mentioning any of them right now. You guys know where to find us. All right. So
not that hard.
just find us.
PSVG.
PSVG.
Of all the gaming outlets, like I think
Simple.
our name is real good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chase, if you want to let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah. So YouTube, just search The Gaming Advocate. And then on Twitter, you can find me at Phantom UFC Fan.
There it is. I ain't got nothing else. So until next time, play some video games.